I know, I've missed it.
I've aged. I've certainly put on weight.
Never. Well, you, me both. But never. Never. I don't believe it.
Well, Christmas, it's our excuse. It's our excuse, isn't it?
Yes. January.
Well, January it is. This is our month. This is our month. Well, this is the hour for various different vintage crafts. Got lots of items. Always shop ahead on the website, hochanda.com. But we're going to start off with something I haven't actually seen before. This is brand new today. Brand
new to me, brand new to Simply Vintage. Yes.
Fantastic.
Kind of gone a bit mixed media, a bit kind of different. Well, as usual with my things, you can do anything with it.
Right.
So it's a little pack of loveliness, a smaller pack of loveliness, but we're kind of focusing on the paper here.
Okay.
So we've got a huge bundle of vintage papers.
And this is genuine vintage papers. This isn't the new book you've inked up.
No, I've not put any tea or anything over them.
Tea.
This is the original stuff. Yes, so I obviously, through my travels, I find so many books that people are throwing away or wanting to get rid of, but they can't be read or they can't be used. So I've turned them into my normal craft
packs. It's a nice way, rather than throw them, of course.
Oh, I hate to see that.
That'd be awful.
So in this little kit, you get lots and lots of music paper you're just showing there.
Yep.
So these are original, and I have to say the quality of the paper is fabulous.
I was going to say,
and it works brilliantly.
It's well looked after over the years.
Yeah.
How old do you think this is, roughly? I know it's hard to say.
Various. I always stick to kind of 1960 as the latest.
That old? Wow.
Oh no, but we go right the way back to the turn of the century, before then, kind of 1900s.
That's really impressive. This is history, guys.
Pure history, and some of the language in there is fantastic. You can use, you know, sections out of it.
I bet there's no text speak there, is there?
There is no.
I bet there's no lolling there.
There's no lolling and ats and hashtags in that.
No,
not at all. I know. I'll have to do it, but
we've got to do it. But I don't know why I hashtag, but I feel obliged to.
I know, I don't understand it. No, but there's lots of, certainly there's some brilliant housewife guides out there as well that I try and put in, which are some fantastic ways of how we should all be looking after our house.
Well, I like this. I like this idea. But you know what? It's amazing what something like this can transform into. Have a look at this, for example. Gorgeous.
So the box that it comes in, it's a plain, kind of almost unsanded wooden box that you can turn into anything. It's more of a memory box.
Yes.
So I've kind of given a bit of an example here of what you can use the papers for. They're fabulous papers. They tear amazingly. And what I've started to use a lot of inks on them as well. And the way that they blend in, like any kind of paints, just looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic.
It takes on the colour, and I'll show a few techniques a little bit later on about it.
It does look lovely. It's like a real rustic feel to this.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
It is rustic, and the ageing on it is genuine. You can add more. You can make it look older. Add colours, modern colours, glitters, everything to them.
Well, I think that's a nice point as well, because I love history. I went to uni. I love history, and it's something that, if you know someone who does like that, has appreciation for the history behind it, even the fact you're holding something that's quite old.
Yeah, the feel of it is lovely, and the textures that are in there, and I go back to the language, but if you read some of these, they're just brilliant.
Yeah.
And what you can turn it into, and the sentiments that they used to have in those days. They didn't used to just use 3 words; they'd use 25 words.
25 words.
Yeah,
that's what I do now.
Well, yeah, me too.
Reduce it down. It's a skill, actually. It is. Well, you know, it's a lovely selection. It's brand new today. How about it's the Simply Vintage Decoupage paper stack with memory box. There we go. It's £11.69. It's a free develop. Good value for money. This is a real wooden box. £11.69, but again, if you're not a free to a great price still there, £12.99. Add your P&P. But for the price, it's not just for the quality of the wooden box. This is genuine vintage collectibles. This is wonderful. And you may see it as a collectible, but this honestly is something you may want to discover and just have fun with. I mean, why not? You might want to exaggerate the theme with your inks at home. Now, again, £12.99. Let's move on. It's 234600. We're showing you the one at the back with inspiration. We'll show you more inspiration with the next bundle as well. So there we go. Shall we have a look at the wreath? It's beautiful. Now, wreaths are popular all year round.
All year round, yeah. This, I always bring a wreath with me for the last number of shows, and we've had some great sellouts on them as well. So I'm trying to bring a new wreath each show. This one is a nice spring ribbony one. The ribbon one was very popular last time, so we've gone for spring colours. Now these are all brand new ribbons, very high quality, so there isn't the genuine vintage element in here, but I think it still has that lovely shabby chic vintage charm.
It really does, doesn't it? So this is vintage style we got now.
Yes, so you do get all of the ribbons, and you get 2 wreath rings as well, so you can use all the ribbons on one to make it nice and fluffy, or you can mix and match with other bits and pieces.
I see. So what we see in this kit is exactly what we're going to get.
You're going to get exactly that, yes.
Beautiful.
Yep.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Isn't it lovely?
Gorgeous. And there's quite modern
colours.
style fabrics in here, designs.
Yep.
So they're all traditional.
We've gone, I mean, I love polka dots.
Yeah.
And they are quite vintagey, but I love a polka dot.
Oh, is it? Oh, is it?
Yeah, they're quite reminiscent of the 50s, aren't they, really?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
Skirts and
well, I'm
things
going to remember
like
that for the next fabric show, I do think.
Well, yes, quite vintagey.
This all goes in, all stored in the bank.
But also very fashionable. You know, I love a heart, I love a dot, I love gingham, so I've added all those in, and the lovely kind of ticking stripes as well, which are these little bits here.
And we get the actual, well, I'm going to call it a frame, really, and that's what we weave the pieces round, weave all the ribbon round.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So you get 2 of those.
Okay.
So we've given, it's kind of, you get one with the ribbons to use, and then you've got a second one
to use with our own fabrics,
or your own fabrics, your own ribbons, or you'll suddenly see things, wools, pom-poms, everything.
Of course, pom-poms, yeah.
We've got some great
dream catches if you want to.
Yes,
why not?
that is a brilliant idea, actually.
You could do. Why not? Yeah. You could do. Well, there we go. £14.99 if you'd like to go for this one. Now, it's different options we've got here, actually. So there's 4 options in total. It's 913798. You can see them all on the website, hochanda.com. This one is called the Spring Ribbon. Now, the next one we got under this item number is one we've got right here. This is the Pearl and Roses. Gorgeous. A little bit more.
Lovely.
A little bit more. I don't know.
Wedding-y?
Yeah.
Kind of going into a bit of wedding season, aren't we?
I'd say so.
So, yeah, a bit of wedding, bit of anniversary, bit of just in your home, really.
I think it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I love the kind of cream colours anyway. That's very rustic with the burlap, and you get 2 lots of burlap in there as well, so you can make 2 wreaths.
Lovely.
And then you've got all of the laces and ribbons. Again, they are all new. Okay. So we haven't got any genuine vintage in this one, but we have got vintage style.
Vintage style.
And you do get, obviously with each of these you get an instruction booklet with different examples.
Oh, I see.
And hopefully I'll be getting more on the website.
So it's quite nice. Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
So you can see. Thank you. Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
So you can see what you're aiming for if you wanted to do exactly like that, but it also gives you the techniques for the ribbon roses.
Gives you a head start if nothing else. You know, you can make it from start to finish with that. Lovely idea. Yeah. Well, there we go, the Pearl and Roses wreath, again, £14.99. Same item number as the last one, so that's 913798, but just select whichever option you'd like. You've got 4 different ones to choose from. You can see them all on our website, hochanda.com. There's, 4 in total. These are just 2 we got out at the moment, but you can see all options right here. So there we go. Whichever ones you'd like, just have fun with them. Again, if you want to get more than one, I'm sure you're bound to find materials and styles that will interchange with each other, but if you want to go for more than one, my advice is check out in the same transaction, because that way you only pay your postage and packaging once. So if it's 2 of the same, 1 of each, I don't know, you might do. If it is that the case, well, do check out the same transaction. It's still £2.95 P&P if you're ordering for the same item number. Now then, so we've got a wreath here, but this is a different item.
This is a different one. Yeah, this is one of my most popular ones, actually. So it is the Wonderland. It's looking a little
That's
bit
my
favourite.
There's a lot going on
There's
here.
an awful lot in this one, and I've not fluffed it out too well, but this
should fluff that even more.
It does, yes, it does quite a lot more. So this one is our Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, the charms in this is.
Do we get
fabulous.
those charms?
You do.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
Excellent.
Basically, you're getting a ton of fabric.
Right, a lot.
An absolute ton of fabric. You get the charms, which include the little toadstools. You've got the cat. You've got the white rabbit somewhere in there as well.
You know what, the mix of fabric is fascinating, because is that a bit of organza?
Yep, we've got some gorgeous organza here. That comes on a strip, so you can tear it, use it, or make little rosettes
it's almost
with
a tear, actually.
I love
it's like a rugged kind of...
All of this comes in a strip, so you get to tear or cut to your heart's content.
That's good fun,
it's brilliant, and all the fabrics do tear as well.
So we've got some plain bits of fabric, then you've got some with a hint of detail on which
yes, so these, the ones with the details on, these are is the gorgeous Alice fabrics. So it does have, you'll see it on the website, but also as it arrives, it looks fabulous.
Of course, yeah.
And also, I don't know if you can see this very clearly, but you get some fab flamingo ribbon.
Ah, down here, flamingo ribbon.
Yeah, so everything ties in with that kind of Alice theme.
So,
pom-poms.
I'm thinking if you're about to go into different seasons, you can add a bit of ribbon, you add some Christmassy colours. I know I'm thinking ahead to next year, but we're always thinking value for money here at Hochanda. And I think with this, you can have it in your guest bedroom. It's be quite welcoming, picks up some hard decor. I think that's quite softens the room. But I mean, do people have these on doors still
them,
all year round? I never do a Christmas
time.
Not so
much, because the fabric ones outside, they do. A lot of people I know have different season ones, kind of inside. This one would be fab in a little girl or boy's bedroom, wouldn't it?
Really
little child's bedroom. Because it does, obviously it goes, colour-wise, it can go either way.
It is, I'm not saying it is my favourite, this, you know.
You get a tiny little drippy bottle. Just have to show that, because that... customers so far have absolutely loved these.
I like this.
So it just comes as a plain bottle, and then obviously we show you how to just add bits to it.
But it's intriguing. There's a lot to observe in there. It's different textures, the charms. It's just a beautiful piece. It's bright and cheerful colours as well, I think. Well, there we go. You may agree. £19.99 if you'd like to give for this. This is by Simply Vintage, put together by Melissa. It's the Wonderland Rag Wreath Kit. Freedom members, you pay less money, £17.99. Delivered for £17.99. It's 864 554. That's right, the number. Now then, next one we got. This is the peacock wreath.
Yes.
Lovely. So completely different colours we've got.
Yeah, we've gone... I mean, I've gone quite spring-like for most of the things, but we had this one just before Christmas. But I don't think... This is very jewel-like, isn't it? It's quite Mardi Gras, that kind of lovely colours. I mean, I'm a big, huge fan of the kind of teals and greens and things like that. So this has taken my fancy. So we've got all sorts of little bits and pieces with this kit. Again, you get 2 wreath rings. You get 2 lots of the burlap, so you can start, you know, do one and then get creative and use your own bits and pieces for the second one. You get the organza as well, and that's in a gorgeous. You can see that there in the little. They're kind of like little rosettes that we've made. But you get a lovely long strip of that as well, so you can do all sorts with it. And that's got a lovely two-tone.
It's quite a dramatic wreath, actually.
It is. Very dramatic, very stylised. And the peacock feathers are just stunning.
So we get all of these. So what we see is exactly what we're getting. You get 2 wreaths as well?
2 wreath rings. You get the organza, you get some little beads. You get the 2 lots of ribbon, 2 burlaps, 2 feathers, and the lovely...
bit of felt. So you get 1 wreath to make with all these fabrics, then you get another wreath, the actual brackets, I should say, to make with other fabrics you've got at home.
Anything you've got at home. Or you could make
for all the wreath kits you've got. So
yes, you always get 2.
It's good, that. It's good value for money, because when you're using this, you might have some other ideas. I think when we're crafting, when we're making ideas, when we're being creative, that's a good way to inspire for other ideas.
Yeah, that's why it came, because I get a kit and I go, oh, I want to make another one straight away because I've got this or I've got that, you know. In the cupboard,
it keeps going,
or in my stash.
Well, there we go, £14.99 if you like this. Is the Simply Vintage Peacock Wreath, 062161. Now, the next item we got, but do you know what? We're talking about vintage style. This is actually genuine vintage. So the content's been very slightly, but I like that because you know it's genuine, and you know it's real stuff.
Yeah, so this is a
mixed pack. Where do you get it all then? Where do you find these?
I spend glorious hours reaching around in antique markets, auctions. I love a good auction.
I do. I bet you have good fun doing that.
I do. I absolutely love it. I'm sometimes, you know, not to be trusted with the old paddle. Right, okay. I do go, I really want that, I really love it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'll buy it.
But you like it, but I love it. Well, your kits are so popular, so you clearly source well with all of these, but you have days where you hit a gold mine, then other days you hit... we
find absolutely nothing and you think, oh, how am I going to...
Yeah. So it's that must be quite an excitement when you hit...
and when you find a gorgeous suitcase stuffed full of vintage fabrics or just small pieces of fabrics. Right. And this is where the kits came from, really, is I'm an avid hoarder. Right. So I find fabrics and things and I was keeping them, I love them, I was putting a few into kits, but I just thought, you know, people want to use them. It's pointless just sitting there. And so let's use them. So let's get them into a pack. Let's get them onto crafts, and here we go.
Rather than just sitting there, let's celebrate this vintage history, really.
Yeah, and it is reusing, it's recycling, it's upcycling. It's all of those very trendy words at the moment.
It is, yeah.
But it is reusing old books and things that can't be used again.
I'm fascinated with sheet music. I can never quite get to grips with it, but respect to those who do.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And we've got a little postcardy bit.
You always get a postcard in the kits as well. Always make sure there's a postcard.
So we're guaranteeing variety with all of this. And what we've got here, this isn't one kit, surely?
Yes, this is the
mixed craft kit.
Yeah,
wow.
This is the kit. You get a minimum of 30 pieces, so around about 30 pieces. And this, with the mixed kit, you obviously get paper in there and fabrics. You get ribbons, laces, buttons. So the buttons, we don't have just one button is not one bit. A group of buttons is one kind of element. So I'm not going to put a piece of paper in 29 buttons in. So it's always, what you get here is kind of the amount of stuff that you would get.
This is general speaking, this is showcase the variety.
Varieties, yeah. But you will get different fabric patterns and colours.
Bits of lace in there as well, ribbons.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. I mean, $9.99. It's for even just vintage style. I'd say that's good value for money for the variety all put together for you. But this is genuine vintage. These are all genuine. There's a lot of history we got here. For $9.99, it's a wonderful thing. It's quite exciting, understanding or looking forward to what's going to arrive to your door too. Well, it's at 039258. If you got one of those, the wooden box we've got at the end there, if you want to add more possibilities, maybe add this to your basket as well. If you want it on its own, again, £9.99. Now, we've got 5-star reviews on our website for various different items we've got here with Simply Vintage. Now, we've got these wreaths. By the way, if you're going back to that kit, if you do like the mixed craft kit, we've got other items. We've got one suitable for just lace and ribbons, one for textiles, and one just dedicated to paper crafting. So do check out all the options. In fact, here they are right there. So we've got the stitchwork inspiration pack, minimum of 30 elements there. We've got the fabric inspiration bundle, and I'll just mention that wooden box. That comes with the decoupage paper stack, and that is the memory box for £12.99. Lots of Freedom Member prices, items that we've got brand new today on Hochanda, so we're very excited here. Any questions, please email us, studio@hochanda.com. Well, first demonstration of the day, here we go.
Here we go.
So then, let's do it. What are you going to do, Melissa?
We are going to, if you could just grab that, the empty box.
The empty one,
So this is how it starts, it comes to you. It has, obviously, it's a wooden box, it opens. Hinges.
Excellent.
It's inside here is like a little photo mounting bit, so you can take it in and out, and you do get a little plastic cover in there as well, which for my demos and my samples I kind of like to take out.
I see.
But I don't throw it away, as you know me. It's brilliant to use as putting your little paints and mixing and going on.
Or maybe you got one of your favourite pieces of art.
Yeah, pop it in there.
Or maybe you got given a card that means something to you. You can display it in there.
Photos, all those kind of things.
Lovely.
So instead of starting from the very, very beginning, I've kind of done a bit of a Blue Peter.
Okay.
So for this one.
So you've added paint. Is that gesso?
I've put some gesso on already.
Okay.
Just to give it a nice base. Now it's not the smoothest of boxes, but I like that because I don't want it all to be...
Well, you don't want it too perfect.
Yeah, I like it a bit rustic, a bit
Yeah, I know
rugged.
what you mean. It all complements the overall theme, doesn't it?
So.
All these
Personally, I think so.
I think so.
But if you do want it nice and smooth, a little bit of...
Sand it down.
Yeah, it's very, very... oh, there's the little plastic thing. I knew I kept it just to show you.
Safe.
Kept it safe. So you do get one of those in there, but you can use it for any of the things.
Okay.
So we gessoed that. It's got a little magnet on it, and then we started off doing just a little bit of decoupage on it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to use some of our nice glue. Now, Indigo Blue do fantastic slap it on, and I love slap it on.
I've seen, obviously, Kay use this.
Kay used it. It's brilliant. I never go back, and obviously I forgot it today, so I would recommend that one.
Right.
So I'm just going to do a few little bits of it. So I'm going to just prime it with a bit of this. Now you can water it down, which I'm going to do just because we have got the base on there anyway. Then taking some of our papers, got a little stack from our stack here. There we go. We're going to just tear it. Now, I don't know if you can hear that gorgeous sound.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's so satisfying, but it tears amazingly. So I'm just going to have a little look.
So it's like a glue in a seal. That slap it on.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can use anything. If I don't have those, I use PVA or any other brand of
glues.
kind of stuff. Yes, but I quite like to water it down. Medium, that's the word I was actually searching for this early in the morning. So it is just a few minutes of joy, just sticking, gluing, sticking, gluing.
Do you find you're creative in the mornings, the evenings? I know a lot of people do vary this.
Do you know what? The last few days while I've been doing a lot of samples, just sitting and doing it, I think I think the morning.
In the morning?
But then I get a little rush at about maybe 8 o'clock at night. I go, oh, maybe I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, like last night I was sat up watching a film and doing this.
You weren't watching Hochanda?
Well, it'd gone off.
I'm off.
I have it on rewind.
Oh, well
Good comeback.
Well recovered.
I went a bit crazy before Christmas on Hochanda, I have to say.
Oh, really? What happened?
Buying.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
My own Christmas present.
During your show.
Oh, no. Well, I usually do go, but
no, you
nuts. But no, I did.
You make it very easy.
There was far too many awesome offers on.
There was some
yes, which I've got some of those that I'll be demoing. There were so many good deals. So yes, I took great use of those. So I've got lots of new toys to play with, really. Which is fabulous. Starting January off with some new techniques.
Lovely.
So, I mean, as you can see, it's not a quick. I'm just going to put it on. It does take a little bit of time.
Okay.
One of the other I'll just show you another little sample.
Oh, that's cute.
So this is just an ordinary plain box like this one, which this time of year, I don't know about you, but I got loads of gorgeous boxes, Christmas boxes for you Christmas presents.
They're falling out my cupboard.
Yeah, Christmas boxes, bags and things like that. So reuse those boxes throughout the year. You don't have to have them just for Christmas. Are you making jokes now?
No.
So yes, I've just taken the lid off of that one, and you just adding and adding
So
lots of layers of the little
jewellery. Lucky enough to receive some jewellery at Christmas time, that'd be quite nice.
Yes,
Those little boxes.
So the little boxes that you get, just use them for different things.
Yeah.
And in the stash of the papers, you have got a lot of the music. So you have got lots of this.
And it's the ones that come with the memory box.
This memory box, the decorative. There's all bits that come in, but you also get some gorgeous, very thin papers, things like the dictionary pages, encyclopedias, and that's what I've used on that box. And they're just.
It's quite a smooth finish because the paper's quite thin.
Yeah, so you get, there's lots of different techniques that you can start to use with the papers. It's not just a case of,
and I think I just love words. I mean, even when we do stamps on Hochanda, I love words and backgrounds because I think naturally we want to read it, and obviously it's not the fact that it's unreadable. It's the fact it's just so much to observe there.
Yeah. That is it, and a lot of the bits and pieces that I do, a lot of the artworks I do, I take a piece of paper, a piece of this, and I'll read it, and there'll be just such a lovely sentiment in it, or a little. So this one, for example, I'm flitting around now.
Okay.
This was a page that was in one of the mixed kits, and honestly, I'm a little bit addicted to dogs.
Right.
So I love them. I think they're fabulous. So this was basically a page that said "Thy servant a dog," and this was me playing with my new. Spectrum Noir pens.
I was going to ask
the sparkle pens. Yes, they were my first.
They're impressive, aren't they?
They're amazing, and they were such good value before Christmas, so I did buy them. And playing with them. And the reason why I'm kind of showing this is the paper just takes that kind of ink on amazingly. I mean, that literally was just like using like watercolours.
Those down, it looks like.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I used the sparkle pens. I did not on the actual dog,
not on the dog,
but on the backgrounds. Because of the paper, because of the grain of the paper, it's almost like a watercolour paper.
Yeah,
so
I did want to say. Yeah.
It has, with those type of pens, it works brilliantly because you just put it on, and the tones that come through it are fabulous. and I'm not an artist, as you can tell. My dog's a bit scruffy.
I quite like that.
I'm not an artist. I'm a crafter.
As well.
Yeah, well, that is just so simple to do, and we'll do a bit of demoing with the papers and the inks a bit later on, and maybe on my next show.
Scrapbook, like interactive photo albums. I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, I mean, this it's just great to use, and that's why I do ramble on quite a lot about how the papers are fabulous, but they do work on lots of different levels.
Well, we use them as tools, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Tools.
They are fabulous.
Shall I do a recap? Is there anything else at the moment?
No, that'll be fine for now, and I'll carry on. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Get ready for the next one.
I'll be right back then, Melissa. It's looking good. Don't forget, this is the start of something that can become very bespoke for you. And think what other items you've already got at home too. Well, by the way, if you like the Slap It On, we have got this on the show. Not being vague, it's actually called Slap It On. And you can see it right here at hochanda.com. So you do get the fabric and the gloss pack, actually. So there you go. It's £10.49. We've got... Oh, now look. Have you seen these before? This is what Melissa brings to us often. It's the cake stands. You get the drill bit and the washers. Honestly, these are just brilliant. They're one of my favourite things Melissa brings to us. So if you've got some old plate, vintage plate, you've got the drill bit to drill an hole in the middle, and then you've got the stands to make it like a vintage tea room stand. Honestly, it's wonderful. Lovely idea. Haven't seen that for a while. We've got the candle central dye bundle. We've got candle kits. Lots of vintage, beautiful, beautiful, cosy, warming home decor. That's what we've got on today's show. Speaking of which, you may have seen some items you haven't seen before. This is actually the first time I've seen this particular bundle, the memory box. First time we've actually seen it on Hochanda. Well, it's £12.99 is for the box, and you get all of these beautiful vintage, genuine vintage. We haven't put tea bags on a brand new book. This is genuine vintage. Let's say around the 60s, perhaps. Maybe you can go further than that. But this is wonderful, and it's such a shame that some books do get thrown away. I know I'm not alone in thinking that. I know Melissa agrees too. It's a shame they get thrown. It's nice to be able to use them in some way. But we've got pages maybe from dictionaries, maybe little postcards we've got here, maybe little music sheets, we've got buttons. Lots of ways we can dress up and, well, craft with our box. Now, although this is a wooden box, give it a vintage feel. This is a lovely wooden box. It's quite rough and rugged, but that's the whole point. That's what we're using this for, to create that effect. But if you want to sand it down, smooth it out, of course, you can easily do that. Completely up to you. You've got the hinges on the side of the actual box. You've got a little bit in the middle there, so you can actually take it off if you want to display photographs or postcards, maybe a card front, maybe a tag you got given, maybe something you made you're proud of. Take it off there, and you can display it. You've got a bit of a plastic front on the front there too. So again, if you're a Freedom member, £11.69. No P&P. It's delivered for £11.69. It's 234600. And if you're not Freedom member, great price still there at £12.99. Now we can go down, or we can. Oh, we're going to have a look at the wreaths, yeah, we're going to do that. So there you go, the wreaths we got on today's show. We've got 4 different options of the wreath. So there we are. If you want to shop on the website, hochanda.com, for all of these wreaths, we've got craft kits. We've got craft kits for papers, craft kits for materials, various different stitch crafts as well. We've got covered with all these vintage kits. Now, we're talking about vintage. This wreath is vintage style. So the new items with that celebration of vintage look. Now then, this is absolutely beautiful. This is a brand new option. This is a vintage style. It's the spring ribbon. Now, we've got an item number here, which is 913798. You've got 4 options. This one here is the spring wreath. So there we go. All of these different bits and pieces. You get 2 wreaths here. They're actually the frames. So you get all the materials you need to use with this to make that, exactly that. But again, you do get a spare one to use with the other fabrics at home. So if you're crafting with this, maybe start with these fabrics first. Oh, doing to that, sorry. Chucking it all over the place, how rude. So there we go. You've got one there for spare to use with the other fabrics. You can cut them, you can tear them if you want a bit more of a rugged, lived-in kind of look. It's completely up to you. So again, that's £14.99. That's for the spring wreath. Now, if you want to see other options under this item number, take a look at this. Whichever ones you want to add, pop them into your basket. We've got the burlap and roses. We've got the spring ribbon, which you've just seen. We've got the pearl and roses too. There is a 4th option on there as well, so just bear that in mind. You can see it on our website, hochanda.com. Any questions, do give our call centre a ring. It's 01733 60 2000. They're up bright and early with Melissa and I. They're literally just upstairs, ready to take your call and make sure, well, yeah, whatever you like, deliver straight to your door. Now then, are we ready for this? Those wreaths were beautiful. This is gorgeous. Now, I don't know what it is, but it's my favourite. I'm not just saying that. It's a favourite among staff backstage too. This is absolutely beautiful. It really is. And I don't know what it is. I think it's because there's so much to observe. It's so much going on. Quite dense amount of fabric we've got to use here. But you've got these little embellishments. You've got a little drink me bottle. You get these little keys. If you like those metallic embellishments, you do get these included with your kit. You get all of these exact fabrics. You get 2 of the actual wreath rings. So you can use all the fabrics to make this. And then you've got a ring spare for your other fabric, your offcuts at home. Maybe you're quilting, maybe you've got a basket, a bag full of offcuts. Why don't you make them into a wreath? A lovely idea to use them. But we've got organza in here. You've got various different style fabric. You've got bright, beautiful, summery colours, and then you breaks it up with almost looks like a little bit of burlap or a little bit of linen. That kind of looks like burlap, actually. Or that kind of style, do you know what I mean? And you've got detailed fabric on here too, and some plain colours. But it's just... I can't help but smile when I look at this. If you've got a brightly decorated guest room, if you want something nice and bright and vibrant, this can add vibrancy on your home. You never know. £19.99 is for the wreath. It's for all the materials you see right there. Freedom members delivered for £17.99. How about that? 864 554 is your item number right there. Now, I can't believe the time, we're over half an hour into the show already. We've got Jane coming up from Creative Expressions with some woodware stamps. Looking forward to that at 8 o'clock. We've got more demonstrations with Melissa right here on this show, Simply Vintage Designs. Now then, this is gorgeous. Now, we've got various different wreaths. If you want to add some fabrics, if you've got the memory box, regardless of which one you bought, I would add this in because you've got bits to complement other kits, but standalone too. Now then, we've got papers, we've got fabrics, we've got lace, we've got little postcardy bits. Oh, I'm blowing it over, excuse me. We've got buttons, but this isn't vintage style. This now, in this kit, this is genuine vintage. So some of these boxes could be decades old. It could go back to the 60s, the 50s, maybe even earlier. You never know. But it's the time that we're paying for here. It's the time that Melissa goes around collecting all of these wonderful items, genuine vintage items. And therefore, I cannot believe we can get all of this bundled together for £9.99. The time, the effort, the fact these are genuine vintage, you can understand we pay more for that. But for £9.99, for all this, that's great value for money. It's 039258. If you're a Freedom member, you don't pay any P&P, delivers for £9.99. There we go, all these fabrics. Now, the contents will vary, of course, because this is genuine, but you do get a variety. That's what's guaranteed. A minimum of 30 elements, guaranteed fabric, lace, buttons, you should get a postcard in there. We've got various different pieces of paper, sheets from music, from books. All this variety of craft is guaranteed. So there we go, 039258, but again, contents may vary. Now then, if you are a Freedom member, you do not pay any postage and packaging. That's because for £6.97 a month, you get all of this. And it's not just unlimited standard delivery, regardless of how much you order. You get exclusive member discounts, member badge to wear, very nice, a monthly newsletter to keep up to date with all the banter and forthcoming attractions here at Hochanda. Speaking of banter, have you heard of Backstage Banter, Episode 2, coming soon? It may be today, or it may be Monday, Tuesday, but whenever we can, Backstage Banter. It's exciting. It's basically when I go around the studio with my phone and Facebook Live and, well, I just irritate people, really. £6.97, but no, we interview whatever guests are in the green room. We're looking forward to this. But if you'd like to see Backstage Banter, hashtag it on Facebook. What hashtag? I don't know what that means, but people seem to be doing it. Number to dial again, so 1733 602 2000 if there's something you'd like to purchase. Well, Melissa, we're making good progress with this. What else would you like to show us?
Well, we can do a bit more on this, if that was all. We can do a bit of a wreath. It's
what do we think?
Should we crack on with this? I think so. I think so. I'm kind of here.
We're back at 11 o'clock.
We are, so we're going to move.
Okay,
yeah, we've got.
Do the wreath then.
We can do some more on that.
I do love your Wonderland wreath. That's
do you like it?
Yeah.
It is my favourite.
Is it? Is yours
as well? It's really bad. Yeah. I don't know.
I can't have a smile when I look at it.
It's just got everything in it. I have to say, earlier on, I did mention the little drink me bottles. This is what you get.
Do you get a drink me bottle with the wreath?
You do, yeah.
You do. I'm going to grab the wreath actually as well. George, I don't want to jump around, but whilst we're talking about it, that's the Wonderland wreath. It's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
We'll keep the details bottom of the screen because I think you're going to be liking this too. Isn't that beautiful? It's just... I don't know what it is.
I know, and I think people who have ordered it have absolutely loved it because you do get an awful lot in there.
Right.
Yes, you do get an awful lot. And
it's a striking piece. It is. It's the centrepiece of a room, actually, on the wreath.
Yeah, I think so. And if you love Alice in Wonderland, which I do...
Yes, yeah, inspired by...
You kind of are inspired by... Yes. By everything.
That whole theme.
The whole theme of it. And, you know, the rabbits and all of that get in there. So, yeah, the pom-poms that go around it, the little rabbit's bum, that's where that came from. So, yeah.
All in one kit. The detailed bottom of the screen. Yeah. Now, detailed side of the screen for the memory box.
Yes.
Looking good here.
So we're getting on. We won't carry on doing that, but in the break I will carry on a bit more on there. But the little roses that are on the bottom of the other sample, I'm just going to show quickly how they happen.
Oh, these are lovely.
Because these are with the thinner paper that we mentioned earlier. And again, I've used pens on there. But it's the same technique. If you've seen my shows before, I do a lot of these kind of roses out of paper. Because I just think they're fab and you can use them for anything. And all we are doing is, don't need to be precise, anything like that. Just cut a vague circle / oval out of your paper, and you can feel how thin that is.
So it could be an old dictionary.
This one is an old.
Readable.
Yeah, this one was an old dictionary. Childish. There we go.
How I'm often described.
Me too. Yeah, and you literally are cutting a spiral. Used to make these as decorations as children, where I used to cut like a snake out of them. I've done one already, so you can see there I've gone all the way to the middle and it just pulls out that way. There we go.
It's amazing you can do that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so easy. It's
a little bit more, I don't know, more authentic, I suppose.
Yeah, if you don't do it nice and neatly, it gives you a lovely edge. I've wet my fingers a little bit because this...
Give a bit of grip.
Yeah, the starting off of this is a bit tricky because it's so thin. But once you roll it between your fingers, you're literally... That's all you're doing. Get into a rhythm. So we're just rolling, and it will unravel, but I want it to be quite a loose one. The thinner you cut these bits, the tighter it will go, and you will get lots of like leaves in the middle. But if you do it quite thick, you get a nice kind of loose rose. So nearly there. If you've got a glue gun, get it out. It is really, wrap it round. I usually do, or just a little bit of PVA or any kind of glue that you're using. Now I've got some of my glue out. So at the end, you just
you've got a little base there.
You've got a tiny little base where you've ended it.
It's cute.
I'll just use a bit of this. Should stick it. And then a couple of seconds, it will stay. So there we go. You can just see how lovely.
Very nice.
It's all going to fall out if I turn it upside down because it's not stuck
yet.
It's
got a glue gun. You can almost like wedge
the glue guns
sort of holds it, doesn't it?
They are, and they are an absolute dream in this kind of thing. So
we've got some 3D glue. Another colour. That's quite nice.
Anything that will stick better than I've used. There we go. So once you've got it,
it's good to see how it's done.
I'm going to use a little bit of water actually on the edge of these papers. Now because it's so thin, it will start to become a bit more malleable. You can start to kind of roll down the edges, and that will just give you a lovely finish. So I'm going to pop it on the box there, just for now, so you can see a bit clearer.
Oh yeah.
Just how lovely they do start to look. You can leave them like that. You don't have to do anything to them. But with my new pens and things, I'm going to actually stick that down so it'll look a bit better. A bit more of a stronger glue. Just an all-purpose glue on here for now.
Right.
I'll stick my fingers to it. There we go.
Still holding its shape though, isn't it?
It does. I mean, once they're curled, because, again, of the age of the paper and the weight of the paper, it stays. I mean, you can do quite a lot with it. When you start pushing it down, it'll bend over.
It's the fact we're using genuine vintage items here, don't forget.
you think about who could have actually been reading these, looking at them.
So, do you think some could be older than the 50s?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Wow.
Some of these books, I've had some that were in dreadful state, but there's still some pages in them that you can use. Some that are kind of 1890s.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
It's fabulous.
And we can buy this. We can have this.
You can have it.
£12.99.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be that old. You never know. I can't believe we're able to do this price for the time you spend.
I know, I'm crazy.
Because it's your time, I think, that's impressive here that we get.
Yeah, it does
I mean, I know you enjoy it.
I love it. I do love it. But yeah, the days that I'm spent...
So how far do you travel then? It's all over the UK?
Yeah. I do a lot of... I go up to Yorkshire a lot. Yorkshire, go all the way down to kind of Exeter, that kind of way.
Okay.
But I'm quite lucky because where we live now, around here, the studio, in kind of Cambridgeshire, there's a lot of great antique markets around here.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can get a good haul.
So I can go and do a very satisfying couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's the best, going home with a full car.
Yeah.
And then the next day, emptying the full car and
piecing it all together, arranging it all. It's lovely.
Yes, it is a dream. It is a dream. It can also be quite stressful.
Yeah, no, I bet it can, yeah.
When you're on a deadline trying to get everything packed and done. But yes, all the fabrics are kind of cleaned, and the ribbons are all nice and clean. They're not, you won't get anything grubby.
Yes, okay. Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll carry on with our little rose.
The rose.
Yes. I'm going to in fact, I'm going to use my little bit of plastic there.
Okay.
Get a little bit of... I probably don't need much ink on here. Or I have wet the edges of the rose. And I'm just going to go really lightly around the edges of the rose there.
Okay. A sparkle pen.
This is one of my new toy, my sparkle pen.
Companion. You're a fan of these, I can tell.
Oh, I love them.
They're
honestly,
good, aren't they?
I've been drooling over them, watching them. If I've been in the studio and they're here, and I've been drooling over them and going, it's got to be a considered purchase. And I very nearly went for the other there was a very good deal where you can get all of them for...
Yeah.
But I was like, start off small, collect them up.
Yeah, see how I get on first. Good idea.
Yeah, so there we go. And already, just with that little tiny bit of the sparkle pen on the edge, because I've wet the paper and I've just put a tiny bit of the ink on the edge, it'll start to bleed in and gives that gorgeous vintagey look. And you can leave it like that, or you can add another colour on, or just...
Of course, good, yeah.
So once it starts to dry, it will take on quite a different colour as well.
You don't want to cover it completely, I suppose, because you want...
I still want that paper,
of
that
course,
gorgeous
you want
colour.
it to show for what it is, don't you, as well?
Because these papers have got a lovely, subtle, kind of more grey kind of dove colours.
Yes.
Whereas your music, that's the word I'm looking for, it's kind of more of your beigey, your kind of creams. So yeah, they do have different take on different colours.
Well, there you go. If you'd like to go for this, let's show you what you could be aiming for as well. If I've just tuned in, this is the memory box with the decoupage papers. Again, that's 234600. All this kit delivered for £12.99 or less if you're a Freedom member. Add your P&P if you're not a Freedom member. In that case, it's £2.95. Again, 234600. Now, other items, there we go. Oh, by the way, that is the box what it looks like when it's delivered to your door. And you got all the papers there, all the elements you get out, and the buttons too. So there we go. We've got other items for you. There we go. We got the... the mixed craft inspiration pack. There we go. We got the mixture of fabric, lace. We got buttons there. We got music sheets. We got various different bits, maybe from old dictionaries, perhaps as well. This could be going back from the 50s, maybe even earlier. This is genuine vintage collection. £9.99, a minimum of 30 elements. 039258. Now we're busy for the larger bundle actually as well. And how is surprising because have a look at this value. So then, £29.97. Now this is vintage craft and fabric inspiration bundle. So there we go. A big £8 saving there is £389,747. But again, if you're into your fabrics, if you love your mixed media, then why not go for this for £29.97? Now we've also got the $1 wreath on the show too. We've got all of these. This is one of your favourite bundles here. This is the, well, I say bundle, this is the kit to make that beautiful wreath. £19.99. Again, that's 864554. Just quote that item, we'll give a call, send to ring and get this added to your basket. It's a beautiful selection there. There we go. So sorry, I got caught up. Well, I'm trying to hint I needed a drink, but they kept putting these photos on. Right.
That's what I'll take over, shall I?
No, you're fine.
You're all right.
So
That's
where
good.
are we up to then? We've got the wreath.
So we've done. Should we move on to the wreath?
Yeah, well, we could do the wreath, couldn't we? Should we do the wreath, actually?
Should we do some wreathing?
Should we do that?
Should we do some wreathing? Yes, because we can do that in a little while.
We could.
That's
We'll
just
back at 11.
little...
It was up to you.
I don't
it's
know.
Your show.
Yeah, well, I love the wreaths, and it's such a simple. I'm going to show the ribbon wreath.
Okay.
Very simple. It's not going to take me long because it is such a quick and easy but therapeutic craft.
I see.
Because you're literally sitting there with your gorgeous bits of ribbon, and you do get a lot of lovely, lovely shades and colours in that kit. The spring kit I'm talking about mainly, and all you're doing is tying. There we go, tying and cutting, tying and cutting. It's one of those that you can do sat in front of the telly, just sat with some music on, radio on, lovely. And it is as simple as that. There's two different ways. So this one I'm just doing now is just as if you're tying a shoelaces, a normal tie there.
Okay.
There we go. And then I'm using this kind of colour. So you're just tying it in a bow, a knot, however you want to describe that. In the little guide, it does show you the two different ways of tying as well. Or the other way, and I'll cut a smaller piece off here. There we go. We're going to take our piece of ribbon, fold it in half so you've got a little loop at the end, and literally the loop, you pass the ends through that loop.
Oh, I see.
And then pull. And that gives you a different kind of...
So you're already thinking about balancing out the fabric from the start?
You can be... With this one, I took each piece of the ribbon, because you do get a lot in each of those bundles, and I spaced it out as you went round. So I kind of did in each... I'm not explaining this very well, am I?
No,
each of the ribbon, there's a quarter. And so if you use each of
a bit
these,
of a guide,
you can kind of guess, right, I'm going to do 3 on that one, 3 on that one, 3 on that one, 3 on that one, and repeat in the middle.
I see.
And then once you've used up all your ribbon, start on the next one. And that gives you a nice, even kind of look, which is what I've got here. You can be very clever, and I haven't managed to do a sample of it yet, but you can do it so that it's, I'm trying to think of the word, ombre.
Ombre,
yeah,
right.
so you do different colours, it tones in as you go round.
So rather than mix it up,
you can do it all.
a sequence of colours.
Yeah, and it does look fab.
That'd be nice, yeah.
So
you might have other fabrics you've got at home as well that would complement this.
Well, this is the key to all of these. Yeah, this is the base. You can hang it as it goes there. That is, you know, it looks lovely.
Yeah.
Or you start adding in your different techniques from the other wreaths, or techniques that you've got previously, or there's a few different techniques in the
because they will mix and match a lot of these colours that
everything matches.
Available.
And like, if you've one of my favourite things that people do is they use their little children's clothing that they've grown out of.
Well, that's a nice
Just take
idea.
pieces out of it, and then you can add it for their bedroom, add it in, and it's like kind of a memory piece as well.
That's a nice idea.
Isn't it lovely? Yeah.
Ah.
So, but you can do that with anything: old shirts, old clothes, jumpers.
They grow out them so quickly, don't
they? So those first kind of baby grows and things that you've got, you don't want to get rid of.
Oh no, you don't. Or maybe it's a gift someone gave it to you as a parent when they were growing up.
So isn't that lovely? So you can start adding things. So the kits are a base. So these ones are definitely a base, and then you start going crazy and adding to them. Yeah.
And this is how you do all the wreaths, is it? This is how you normally start.
This is how I always start with.
This wreath,
the tying on wreaths. So the rag wreath.
Yeah, because some wrap around, obviously.
Yeah, the burlap type wreaths, they're very different. But this one and the Wonderland one.
Exactly. The Wonderland rag. Honestly, that's your favourite at home too, £19.99. But this is the spring.
That's the spring one.
Under the item number details side of your screen.
And so we've chosen, obviously, it says it in the title, chosen the colours for spring. Lovely kind of, I really love the duck eggs and the pale blues. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of warming colours, they're cheerful.
Yeah, they are cheerful, but not too kind of bright in your face, so you can still...
Yeah, you're right, actually.
And they'll last through, I mean, it will go throughout the year, and add, like you say, add to it for Christmas.
I think so.
Yeah.
And this is why, if you just tuned in, this is we got to so far.
This is our,
so you tie them
base.
together.
Now, to say that it is... you will start this and think, what am I doing? It's going to take forever. And it does take a while. It's not, you know, I mean, that took probably 3 hours of constant tying. So if you're doing it just to pick up...
isn't it?
It's nice.
It's not a messy craft, really, either, is it?
No, but you will get little bits, you're hesitating
there might be a little bit.
There'll be little bits of ribbon comes off it.
Oh, I see.
So I've used straight-edged scissors on these, so you get that kind of an edge. And obviously, on this one, I've used
some jagged edges.
Gorgeous pinking shears.
Pinking shears, yeah.
So there we go. So it does give a different...
I do like the pinking, actually. I like that.
I do. I wasn't a big fan at first.
You could fray some bits if you wanted to.
Well, some of the ribbons...
Towards the rugged kind of look.
Yeah. So some of the ribbons are much easier to fray than others.
Oh, OK.
But you will get a lot of fraying as you go in.
Bits off, yeah.
As you're going round, you will think, this is going to look awful, and it'll start looking raggy and a bit scruffy. But the time that you take just to turn each of the knots round, and then it starts to get fuzzy, and then you just go around. If there's some that have got bits hanging off that you don't like, just chop off the ends, and it neatens it up. And that's where it's one of those things that it all comes perfect in the last couple of kind of minutes, really, when you're actually making it. So you do get halfway around and go, oh, what have I done?
Just nice and
Isn't it lovely? As well. Yeah, you can do it so it's double-sided, which is great if it does swing around.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I do love them. I do love the ribbon ones.
It's like the ribbon ones are nice. And again, you've got little points here on the actual frame.
So you've got basically 4 sections. And then the join at the top. So I usually use this bit, which you can just see.
Oh, yes.
It's, where the actual metal joins. That is great. It gives you an idea where the top is. And you can put a hanging loop on there. But yeah, if you measure out...
And we get 2 of these, don't we? In each wreath kit, regardless of which one you order, or any wreath we've got available on this counter on the show, you get 2
all of the
wreaths.
You get 2 of them.
It could be like a dream catcher one of them, because I know they're quite on trend. Well, I say on trend, they've been obviously for years and years and years. But I've seen more and more recently, actually, the last few months. I have.
I have been playing around with some new samples using these, actually, using pom-poms and more padded and things like that, but also using papers and using the decoupage on them, because they're great frames for anything, but yeah, they are meant for wreaths.
It is pretty, isn't it? Well,
and you can use foliage in these are foliage wreaths as well, so if you have got lovely bits and pieces in the garden. And
you might want to add bits for maybe the summer, maybe going to winter as well. You know, why not?
Yeah.
Well, there are. If you like to give for this is just one option, actually, of 4 we've got available for you on the show. So it's £14.99 for the wreath kit. So it's all the ribbon to make 1 wreath, and you get 2 of the rings. So you got 1 spare to use with other fabrics you've got at home too. So it's good value for money. £14.99. This is vintage style. It's 913798 is your item number. Just quote that. Give our call centre a ring. Well then. Now, there's a wreath in particular that you've been really liking this hour. It's not just my favourite, it's your favourite too. It's a favourite with people backstage. Can we talk about this wreath again?
Of course, I love it.
It's
yes,
gorgeous.
I'm going to turn it the right way up.
Oh, that helps.
There we go.
There we are, we got it.
There we are.
It's very impressive, isn't it? But there's so much going on there.
There is. You get a little wooden tag in there as well that I've used for the Eat Me. You've got your little bottle for your Drink Me. I will work on this in the break because it doesn't look... It does
we can
look
try and look
quite...
at this later on, couldn't we, as well?
We can.
So we're back at 11 o'clock?
We're back at 11, yes. 2 shows today. And you've got your little charms. This one, I don't know if we can see very clearly. This is our gorgeous white rabbit with his little outfit on. Toadstools, of course, the key. And then we've got Alice and the clock. There are a couple more in there. You get 8. You get 8 charms in total. So there are some more. I know there's a flamingo. Oh, obviously a teapot. For Mad Hatter. So you do get lots of different bits in here. The gingham the gingham and the blue, I think, just goes so well together.
It does. It's just summery.
It is, and it's also
spring. It's summery, perfect for crafting for the year. You've got organza.
Child friendly.
What material is this, by the way?
It is a linen, a printed linen.
It is a linen.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry, I did hear you earlier. I didn't want to shout over. It is a
linen.
linen.
I always do.
Yeah, it's a linen blend printed, and this is the one that's got kind of your Alice in Wonderland pattern all over it.
So inspired by.
Yes.
Lovely.
So you get a strip of that, a strip of the gingham, the organza, and then there's some lovely white in there as well that just gives such a gorgeous texture to it all.
Little toadstools you got there.
Yeah,
I do like
they're
the
fab,
keys.
aren't they?
Well,
and the pom-poms as well, you get
oh, wow,
you can't see those because they are hidden in.
But you'd notice if they weren't there, probably.
Yeah,
if
all
you
adds
take
up,
them away, it
doesn't it?
all
Yeah.
adds together, makes a finished piece.
Yeah.
It's just got. Where would you put that? I mean, that can just brighten up a room. It can soften home decor as well. It can make a house feel all homely.
Yeah.
There we are. It comes with 2 rings as well, doesn't it?
2 rings as well, because this actual wreath didn't use all of the fabric, so you do have some left over.
Oh, right, some left over.
Yeah, because there's a lot of fabric in this one. Which is why it's a different price point. It's a different because there's just a ton of fabric.
There's a lot of fabric.
So you do have lots spares over, lots left over on that one.
Well, there we are. If you'd like to see all of it at a glance, so this is what the kit looks like, actually. Delivered to your door, £17.99. If you're a Freedom member, include your P&P if you're a Freedom member, don't forget. If you're not a Freedom member, add your P&P onto £19.99. Still great value for money, don't get me wrong. It's 864554. This is the Simply Vintage Wonderland Rag Wreath Kit. Well, we start at the top of this hour with something brand new to Hochanda, something actually quite fairly new to you as well.
Very new to me, yes. A bit of a different one, something I've been working on for a little while.
A memory box.
A memory box. I mean, I love getting something that the container you can use.
Yes.
So I was kind of looking at what can I put all these gorgeous bits of the paper and the buttons and things in. And I found these boxes and thought, this is perfect, because you can just make it. It can be a great storage. You don't have to turn it into anything.
Of course,
but
you can sand it, you can varnish it if you wanted to.
Or just use it as a storage box.
Or you could do, or do you mind if I bring that
Yeah,
in
please do.
Or you could do something like this. This is some general inspiration. How gorgeous is that? Think what paints you've got. You can have fancy base, you can have quite neutral colours if you want.
Yeah, I took inspiration from the picture in the middle there, which was an old postcard, and in lots of our kits you do get postcards, so you can use those, and it's the right size. So I took inspiration from that and then just went with it.
Well, there we are. I've got to say, sadly, we're at the end of the show, but we're back, Melissa and I, at 11 o'clock. Looking forward to this. You get the box, you get all the different genuine vintage pieces. Contents will be very, of course, because they are genuine. I love that. Details side of the screen. I'll see you at 11.
See you at 11.
I'll see you live after the break.
Hi, I'm Katie from Sizzix, and I've been crafting since I had my first daughter 16 years ago. I've been in the craft industry now for 5 years, and in that time I've become a creative designer and worked with many companies. I'm really pleased to be working for Sizzix and to be on Hochanda to bring you inspiration and education and show you how to get the best from our machine and our dies. With Sizzix, the possibilities are endless, and we want to show you how. So don't forget to tune in for my shows with Sizzix here on Hochanda.
Hi, my name's Leona. I've been into crafting for many years now. As a little girl, I'd craft with mum and dad, but then obviously it stuck with me that much that it became my career. I think for me, crafting's so fun because there's always something new to learn. There's always something new to play with, and it's such a rewarding hobby as well. That's why I absolutely love it and recommend it to so many people. I'm really thrilled to be part of the Hochanda family. Really excited about seeing how it's grown, seeing how it's developed so far, and all the brand new things that I know we've got coming up. I'm really passionate about getting back into demonstrating on TV as well, and actually sharing techniques with you, products with you that I personally love. I hope you can tune into my shows here live at Hochanda.
Hello, I'm Leanne Chivers from Crafters Companion. I'm Head of Creative Development for the company and responsible for bringing all of the fabulous products that you see from us on Hochanda. I've been crafting for many years. In fact, since I was 5. My gran taught me to knit, I've been sewing with my mum, but my great love is papercraft. It's the thing that I love to do most. I really do enjoy colouring. Rubber stamping was my first love. It's still the thing that I turn to in my spare time. Our Spectrum products, I believe, are second to none. They're definitely the thing that I'm most proud of in terms of my journey with Crafters Companion. I know we've got lots more innovation, lots more inspiration, fabulous demos for you in the next months and years coming here on Hochanda, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. So make sure you don't miss my shows with Crafters Companion on Hochanda.
Hello, very well, welcome back to Hochanda. If you just tuned in, very good morning to you. My name's Charlie. We're joined for this hour with the lovely Jane. Jane, welcome back to Hochanda. Been a while since we've had a show. I've got to say, when it comes to stamps, when it comes to card making, do you agree it's quite hard to make cards for guys and girls?
It
do you think
is.
That's true?
Guys are very difficult to make for.
Okay.
But, hopefully...
I think with this kit, we can solve that, can't we?
Yes.
With these stamps,
so.
I really do think we could. We're celebrating various different hobbies in stamp form this hour. So take a look at all these. These are lots. You know, I love when we plough straight into demonstrations here at Hochanda. We've got lots more coming on for you. But let's have a look at what we've got here. So, Jane, why do you think these are so good? Why do you like these stamps?
Well, it covers all sorts of things. It covers men, boys. It covers, as you say, hobbies.
Yes.
They're fun to do, great to colour in. You can doodle on them, you can paper piece them. They're easy shapes to cut out, and they're nice big images as well.
They are big stamps, aren't they? I was thinking that.
And they've got all those little accessories as well, so that you can make up nice cards with those. You don't
finishing touches.
Finishing touches, and that's always important. So you've got a complete package.
Do you know what? And I love these. If you want something quite glitzy, glamorous, you've got this high heel shoes. You know, you saw on, I know your other half or your son and daughter was playing football. Perfect. So guys and girls cards. Cowboys, lovely.
Yeah, a bit of line dancing going on there. And again, they can be
line
male
dancing,
or
Of
female.
course.
You could paint them brown or you could colour them pink.
Yes.
For the girls. So you've got lots of variation there.
Well, you have. And like I say, with these, if you have use them for invitations, if you want to use these to make and sell, we can do that with these stamps as well, can't we?
Of course you can, yes.
As long as we've actually handmade.
Yes.
So have a look at one to the top as well, because these are really cute. Look at that.
Which one's that one?
So little baby shoes.
They're for your toddlers.
Yeah.
So you've got a girl one and a boy one, but they can be mixed together. I think the top one is more for girls because it's a bit frilly.
There's almost attitude, I like that.
But yeah, it's aimed at the terrible twos. Again, they can. It's for all, this range covers all age groups really. Starting at sort of 2-year-olds and upwards.
Yeah, and I think if you know someone who's obviously with golf, we've got obvious hobbies here, but just being outdoors, there's someone being gardening, going walking, going hiking, which is I need to do a bit more of that this year actually. But you can see all of these, they're wonderful. Now you can see even the base, even the laces we got there. Do you know, I'm fascinated with the base of the shoe. Now I'll tread carefully when we look at that. Oh, we have to do it. We thought of puns earlier, didn't we, Jane, on these? I
haven't thought of that one.
Well, when we look at the sole of the shoe, I just think I need to get a grip. Anyway, now look, there's lots of options there. Let me show you some examples because we've got lots of inspiration. Jane, these are beautiful. So, have you done all these?
I have done some of them, but my friend Kim Reigate has done quite a few for me.
Kim, thanks very much, Kim.
So, thank you, Kim, for making some of these fabulous cards for us today.
Is that gorgeous, aren't they? Beautiful.
So you've got all sorts of things to make backgrounds as well, to make your own background papers. I just love those trainers. Those have been paper pieced.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Aren't they fabulous? And you've got a bit of glitter on them as well. Ah. Incorporate it with your dies, so you can use die cuts to add a bit more extra for your shoes to layer up.
Isn't that gorgeous? It is pretty, isn't it? It's gorgeous, and to think if you don't know if it's a girl or a boy, absolutely perfect. You got both crowns covered there. Beautiful.
So you can make a sort of football net type thing with your pens.
Is that glossy accents?
Glossy accents. We've got those on the show today as well. I just love that product.
Lovely. That's very pretty too.
Isn't that nice? I mean, that background. This is one of Kim's cards. It's beautiful. It just shows it's like a New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think for maybe your daughter's 21st invitations, that'd be absolutely ideal for this. I mean, it's crying out for that. It's beautiful. And more cowboy themes. Beautiful, isn't it?
That's great. And she's used the cowboy hat to make your own background paper, and I think that's really clever. So if you haven't got the right paper,
if you just want
you've got images on that stamp set to make your backgrounds. Just simply stamped and a little bit of colouring in is perfect.
Oh, of course. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? And do you know what, I think if you know someone who's into sort of country music, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Line dancing, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And we're personalising with people's interests here and hobbies. Our producer Gemma loves the cowboy theme. She's obsessed with, I think, Southern American, and she's from Peterborough. There we go. You pick any four of these at £19.96, saving £4. It's 532-009. Again, that's 532-009. Now, my clue's running away with me.
Yeah.
Joel, whilst we're looking at these, I've just knocked it over. I might as well give you the details for this. So this is the Sealing Glaze Cosmic Shimmer, and have we got detailed embossing powder as well?
We have got clear embossing powder because I'd like to emboss a lot of images. I like that nice finish.
That glossy
little
look.
Glossy outline. Yes, so I use that a lot.
Oh, beautiful.
And of course, if you're going to emboss, you'll need the anti-static bag as well.
Of course, yeah, for your stamp, for your surface.
For the surface of the card, you put that on the surface of the card to stop the embossing powder sticking to it. It's a static. Yes. Yeah, so that's essential.
It's an essential, isn't it? I've tried it without, and it is essential. You regret it if you don't. There we go. If you'd like to get this kit, it's an essential kit in its own right, really. It's £12.99. 662-467 anti-static bag, the Sealing Glaze, and of course that clear, detailed embossing powder. Now, if you'd like this stamp set, you do pick any four of those. I'll show you some more examples later on. We've got demonstrations of those in a few moments' time. But we've also got these embossing folders on the show. We'll show you them live, actually, because we've got these two. Why are these worth getting, then, do you think, Jen?
Well, I like these because, just remind myself which goes where.
Yes, we've got the Daisy Burst.
I've used those on the little girls' shoes to emboss the shoes.
Oh, I see.
Which is a really nice idea, so that you can emboss your shoes once you've stamped them.
Is it this one right here?
That is a sample of the embossing folder, yes.
Oh, why is it? There we go. So this is the Daisy Burst we've used right there.
And I think it's a nice pattern to use with the shoes. It's a different way of utilising the embossing folder and emboss an image rather than colour it in. And I've just made that heart as a backing piece for those shoes.
Oh, I see. That is beautiful. It's such a crisp emboss.
It's fantastic. And then the leaves, I think the leaves go well with the golf shoes.
Right,
they go well with the walking shoes.
The hiking themed ones,
so you've got all those lovely leaves. So I think they're two really useful general embossing folders.
Well, they're very much outdoor-style stamps we've just seen, I think, so outdoor-themed hobbies. So that's going to be perfect. If you would like these two embossing folders to complement those, here they are. £9.99 for these two, and it's the Daisy Burst and the Linear Leaves. 035855. Now, the next item that I've been told you're already shopping ahead for, we've got the masks on the show. Now, we've got variety here. We get all these food.
I know, they're fantastic,
Wonderful.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a bit of grass for the walking boots or the golf shoes,
yes,
which
the
I
football,
love that
maybe,
one.
yeah.
Or football, yes. You've got a big splat, which is brilliant for the trainers because you've got
like mud.
Yeah, you've got like
mud.
Graffiti and sort of wrapping.
Yeah,
and
gangster.
You have to think of the shoe.
You don't do much graffitiing these days, do you,
I
Jay?
don't know, I've given it up now.
Oh, right, you have, yes.
But you've got to think when
I saw you last night in Bristol, yeah.
When you've got a shoe, you have to think, well, who's going to wear these? What do they do? So the trainers are worn by younger people.
Yes.
They're playing baseball. They're wearing them every day.
Of course, yeah.
And you kind of associate that with all sorts of things.
I
just think
I know
that
what you
splat
mean.
is brilliant.
It's like a bit of a youth, a teenager.
Yeah.
It could be seen. I know exactly what you mean. Bit gangster, bit hip,
Yeah,
bit trendy.
and there's a sample of where is it? There it is. There. There's a sample there with the splat used with the
That's really cool. It's a lovely card, isn't it?
It is. I think it's a bit of fun, and it's also quite useful for all sorts of other things. But
I honestly think we're catering for all ages here.
Yeah.
In terms of the stamps, in terms of the masks, I really think we are. And the next one, we could go a little bit retro with this, like a polka dot kind of style.
Yes, that covers all sorts of things, and I've used that as a guide to actually take away some colour and also just to make my own backgrounds with a bit of distressing.
They are pretty, aren't they? They're gorgeous. By the way, just to show an example of this one right here, can I bring this one in? Because that's the mask we've used on there.
Yes.
So you get all of these three. So that's another example to show you what that can achieve at home. Isn't that beautiful? And you might be thinking, well, do you know what, it might be easy to get a splat like this, but I always say...
you can't.
Well, you can't. There's a splat and then there's a mess, isn't there?
Yes.
And I think this is a controlled splat.
Well, you've got a bigger area because I've stamped in one of the areas, as you can see on here.
Yeah.
You've got a stamped image in there, which I think works really nicely.
Fits
so you've got to
nicely,
use that
doesn't
to its advantage.
Will do indeed. Well, I've got to say, £10.99 is for all of these three stencils. There we go. It's 141029. Pop it into your basket. This is a brand new bundle we've put for you today. First time we've shown this. So very exciting. And I think that's the reason why we've already been shopping ahead for these. So do be quick. Pop it into your basket on hochanda.com. Now, the next item we got this. Now, Joe, we got stamps, we got embossing folders, we got masks. This is like a finishing touches bundle we got here, Joe.
It is. And that's got all the gems and pearls that you need to make your glamour shoes.
Oh, lovely.
So you've got a really good selection of self-adhesive pearls and little shiny embellishments.
OK.
You've got some glossy accents, a nice big bottle of glossy accents.
I was going to say, it's a huge bottle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a chunky one, isn't it? It's nice. Lovely.
I love glossy accents. I mean, that's just, it's, if you've never used it before, it's a three-dimensional glaze. It's really shiny.
Right.
You can use it as an adhesive as well for buttons and other embellishments.
Some of the embellishments we've got here, actually.
Yes, most of those are self-adhesive, except for these ones here.
Ah.
Although they're on a little sticky strip, they haven't got sticky backs. So
you need some glue.
Little bit of glue, and glossy accents is perfect that because it's permanent and strong.
Lovely. OK, and there we are. That's what we can achieve at home. With some of these embellishments, they're gorgeous. But so the glossy accents, if you... I saw a card earlier on, I'll try and show it later, on the football boot. You've got over there. So, because some trainers and shoes have bits of leather on, different materials, so you can pick bits out there. So you can be really creative with the glossy accents. It's gorgeous. We've got magnetic sheets on the bundle as well.
I'm going to use that to make what I call fridge cards.
A fridge card? Good idea.
Yeah. It's a great thing to do because you can make a little mini card to give to somebody for their birthday, and rather than just put it up on the shelf, stick it on your fridge door.
I think if I have mentioned it, not nearly as much as I should have done. That's a great idea. A fridge card?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to start that. It's all about fridge cards. Fridge cards, of course. It's £16.99. I'd like to give for the selection there. It's a lot for your money. Brand new today, 859370. Any questions, just email us at studio@hochanda.com. I can ask Jane here live. She's going to do some demonstrations.
Yes, I am.
Let's go. There we are. We can see on the website, hochanda.com, right here, all the essential items we got, including, die cuts with a view. We got those back. I think we're going to be looking at those in the demonstration. We'll try to. We've got these distress inks, the Ranger Mini ones by Tim Holt. Do pop this into your basket, but my favourite item on the show, one of them, I do like the masks, I do adore the stamps we've got, so do have a look at these stamps. We've got 8 different options. You pick any 4. You can see them if you scroll across under products in this show. There we are. Any questions, again, just email us. Well then, we've got the football, the hiking boots.
Hiking boots. I'm going to just briefly show people with the set of the Craftmaster pens that
we've got these on the show.
We have got these on the show. This is the set A, which is the basic set.
OK.
And although you usually have a sort of a bigger range of pens to colour in, you can do such a lot with this basic set.
So we've got the core range available on the show. Just letting you.
And I'm just going to show you briefly how to just add a little bit of shading to these boots.
OK.
And I've picked out these 3 colours because I thought they were nice and sort of ordinary for a pair of walking boots, bit of brown, bit of orange.
Lovely.
And I'm going to add some shading to these boots.
Right.
By putting some colour. And I've pre-stamped my image with the Memento black ink. And I'm going to put a little bit of dark colour just on the sides. What I'm trying to achieve is a little bit of depth and shading.
I see.
So we're going to put a little bit of that brown there.
So if you want to get these pens, details side of the screen, this is called the Basic A set at £24.99. I think we call them the core option. Is it the same colours? We'll check them. I don't know if you just mixed up the names. 513820. So it's these ones. We'll show you a photograph of the colours, because I want you to know exactly what you're getting, of course. So then, £24.99. This is the core. 513820. So just to be clear, the colours you're going to be buying are these ones, related to the item number on the side of your screen. This is the core selection. Free to members, £22.49. Oh, thanks, Jane.
Right,
so they blend beautifully.
So they've blended really, really well, and I just love these pens. I mean, I've only been using them for maybe sort of several months, but I absolutely love them.
You like them, okay.
But you see, with those two colours, I've managed to create that little bit of depth and roundness with adding the darker colour and then the lighter colour on top. And when you add a second colour, it drags them together, drags the colour together.
Well, this is quite extraordinary. When you see alcohol pens in action, something bizarre happens when you touch the second colour. You can see the alcohol working almost and pushing the colours through. It's really weird. It's wonderful to watch. You get magnificent results.
I think it's really important to get that shading, and just so I'm a bit more organised, I have pre-coloured a pair of boots using all the pens that are in that set. So I've gone for a bit of orange and green, which is a bit fun.
They're nice, aren't they?
And I haven't put anything finishing touches on there just yet. I tend to do that at the end, but I have stamped these and embossed them with the clear powder. So I've stamped them with the black Versafine, which I believe is on the website.
It's the black Versafine,
and I've used the clear powder so that you can see that shining, and it also adds a little wall around all the outlines so that it contains all the colour nicely.
I see.
Yep. And, right, I've done that. Now I'm going to make up a card. And when I'm doing a card, I've got walking boots. You're out in the country, so you have to think countryside.
Yes.
OK, lots of grass and hills and greenery. So that's when the embossing folder comes in. That's one with all the leaves on it.
Yeah, or the daisies you could do.
Well, you could do the daisies.
Might be a lovely part of the countryside.
So I've chosen the leaves for this one.
Could be a city. Could be a retail park we're walking around, but
don't make things complicated.
No. We'll stick with the country theme.
Yeah. So I've got my embossing folder here, and I just want to make sure that people know to get their card the right way up, because this card from the pack that we've got on the show today...
Is that a die cut with a view pack?
It is. It's double-sided. So you've got two tones.
Right, I see.
Now, I want this greeny, grassy colour uppermost, rather than that way round. So I'm putting it down that way, so that you've got
this colour.
No, I don't. No, but actually, I don't think it matters so much with this embossing folder. I think it looks good either way.
Okay.
So you make sure you've got the raised area on the bottom.
Right. That's going to be pushed through, isn't it?
And that's going to be pushed through. So if I did it that way round, then it would be debossed.
It's a good, easy way to remember, because I have to think, oh, hang on, which way is that going to be right? If you remember that, you're fine.
But you know, if you've got these at home, you could put a little sticker on there to say that this is the top, so you don't get it wrong. So I'll just put that through the embossing machine, and the card has a slight white core.
Okay.
Which is quite nice. It kind of breaks a little bit. Keep grinding this a bit more. There we go. My arms aren't long enough this morning. So when you take it out, you've got that fabulous crisp image, but you could see a little bit of the white core of the paper. So you've got one colour one side and one colour the other.
Yeah.
And you can see the white coming through. And that's embossed, but you could have it debossed.
Both are nice.
Both are really, really nice. So that's the embossed side, but I actually wanted to, I just wanted to use the debossed bit, just to show you there's a slight difference. So I've made this ready to go onto my base card, and I've cut it where I've cut at an angle. I've cut around the leaves a little bit there, and that's going to be stuck onto my base card. I'm going to have to trim it a little bit when I'm ready. This is another piece of card from that card pack. Again, it's got one shade on the other, but that goes really nicely with that green. But I'm going to stamp the footprints first that come with that set of stamps.
And this comes with the set from these boots?
Yes, so you've got everything to make one
So
one
in each
card.
stamp set, you've got like a focal point.
Yeah.
And with the star of the card, and then you've got finishing touches, filler.
Yeah.
Don't use the word fillers, it sounds like it's there for the sake of it, but the finishing touches, they do fill gaps.
They're finishing touches, but they're really useful for making a background. Now, I'm going to use the black VersaFine
So you can have
ink.
fun with this one as well.
You can, but there's a left and a right, so make sure you get it in the right order. Now I'm stamping on a textured card, so you will get a slightly broken image, but that doesn't matter with these so much. So we're going to stamp slightly off that bit of card there, and then we'll do, that's the right one. Then we'll do the left, so it's walking up the piece of card. So they're slightly shaped, it's got a nice tread on it.
It's just really good fun borders, I think.
Yeah, I love
kids,
this one.
it's just quite fun.
I mean, you could just use this on its own if you wanted to.
Yeah. Really
There we
cool
go.
backgrounds for this.
Yeah. So you've got your background there. So now I'm going to stick that to this.
You could just create a big background just with that stamp.
Yes.
You really could.
So we're going to put a little bit of... Have I cut that the right size? Just about. Okay. We're going to put a bit of PVA glue on here. I'm going to stick that. I'm going to take that away because I can't see the edge of my card. A little bit of Cosmic Shimmer PVA glue, which is Brill. Right, we'll stick that onto there. Okay. I'm just going to use that bit of paper to... Because sometimes VersaFine takes a little bit of time to dry.
You don't want to smudge it.
I don't want to smudge it, so I put a piece of card on top. But this one I've kind of cut to size, and I've done it at an angle, just to be different. Put a little bit of PVA glue onto there. Being embossed, you want a little bit of glue in the middle. Right, that overlaps that one. You can always trim this afterwards. Again, just swish it down to make sure that you haven't...
Nice and bonded.
Yeah. And then we'll just trim those bits off here. Do this either with a pair of scissors or your paper trimmer. So what I'm trying to create is a whole sort of a mood of
outdoors
walking.
Countryside.
Yes, so that you've got your greens, you've got your nice
summery
leaves.
spring morning,
Yes. And I'm going to just put a little bit of the distress inks, because we've got these on the show as well.
We certainly do.
Not that size, we've got the little ones.
We've got the little range ones, haven't we? Yeah.
Because I think if you get the little ones, you can get more colours.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Way. Lots
so we've
more
got the rusty
colours.
hinge. We've got various different options. We've got two different options, really. 2 bundles of 4 to offer you. So this one details side of the screen. So there we go. It's £13.99. 807870. So again, £13.99 to stock up on 4 colours. Really good option. Now I'm going to get the other option we got here now, and I think the other option may be actually more suitable for the stamp we're looking at right now, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got the festive berries. We've got the brushed corduroy, faded jeans, and the peeled paint. So maybe a bit more earthy colours, perhaps more so. Lovely. Detail side of the screen for this one.
Using the brushed corduroy on here because it's more in keeping with the look of the card.
It is, isn't it? I'll just drop one. So.
There we go. There we go. So that's finished off the edge. It's also a really good idea to put a little bit of distress ink around the edges, just in case you've got a little bit of white card showing. And the other thing I sometimes do, and again, it's putting everything together. I sometimes tear up bits of wrapping paper or stuff like that to add some additions, and I've just got an old map here.
Oh, I know what you're going to do.
So I'm going to just tear that out. I've actually got one really done, but tear it out of your... Obviously, I'm not reproducing this. There's no problem with copyright and everything because it's just using the original, so don't start panicking, everybody. Put that in the bin. And when you have distressed the edges, I've got one already done there. Again with the brush corduroy, you've got another layer to put onto your card.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can put your shoes on there, And you've got a little bit of greeting, which also comes with the card. Does it come with the stamp set? I can't remember now. I think I might have used a different one from another stamp set.
I've got to say, someone's going travelling. Someone's going...
Oh, yeah, hiking, yeah.
Hiking,
on their gap year.
Gap years would be nice,
yes.
yeah. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
So by just sticking a few bits and pieces together. You didn't do that?
No, I need to.
Maybe you could take a grown-up gap year.
I have been travelling. Well, I did go to Peterborough the other day, so that was lovely.
So you see, you could create a whole brand new look with those bits and then stick your greeting on there.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
That's gorgeous. I can reach that, George. Shall I turn that around?
Nothing's stuck down. You want to stick it down so you can hold it up.
No, George, we can get the idea. That's beautiful, though. But it's lovely to see how you compose your ideas and how you balance it all. It is nice. Isn't that beautiful? There's a lot going on in this card. It's not overcrowded, but there's so many different... There's a sense of different textures with the embossing folder.
Yes, and if you wanted to pick out any glossy accents on there, let's tell you what, I'll just stick this map down.
Oh, bits of leather on the shoes, perhaps?
Yes, so we'll just put a little bit of glue onto here.
Now, we've got the glossy accents in a big bundle for you, actually, on the show, so we'll get the details for you on the side of the screen.
Let's just stick that one down. And we can put some foam pads on the back of... Where are my foam pads? Foam pads on the back of our shoes. To give it a little bit of
height.
Bit of height. Now I've cut mine out. Okay, if you're not really very good at cutting out, then just stamp them onto some white card. Nice and simple. Right, now I've spent ages trying to get the back off these little things.
It's nice to use bits of map we got there. We've got the stamps, all the stamps on the show. In fact, you know, if you like to get this stamp, this is just one of 8 options. You pick 4 of them, part of our pick and mix. So choose any 4. It's a new offer we've got here at Hochanda. I'll go through all the options for you shortly, but again, details on the bottom of the screen. That's £19.96 for any 4 of those. So if you're talking about cards for guys, have a look at these. Equally, if you want to talk about cards for ladies, for various different age groups, it's a really good, well-rounded bundle, so you can personalise your order too, pick any 4 you like.
There we go.
That's really nice.
So with that little bit of depth of foam pads on there, it's a really nice idea. But
do you like country walks at the weekend?
I do, actually. I love walking.
Yeah.
I'm a big walker. Yes.
It's lovely.
Right, so where's my glossy accents? Here we are.
Now, this comes with the embellishments, with the magnetic sheets as well.
Yeah, and all those lovely gems.
Yes, yes.
So you don't want to shake this.
Okay.
Because you'll create bubbles. You don't want bubbles.
That can be irritating, yes.
Don't want bubbles. If the nozzle blocks a little bit, which it can do, you just want a nice fine pin just to put in there. Now, I didn't bring my pin today, so I'm just hoping it's going to work.
I'm sure we can find you a pin.
It's always a good idea just to check, to make sure it's going to come out of your nozzle.
Yeah. And we're looking good.
And it's come
out.
A lot,
so it's 59 mil, if I remember rightly.
Really?
That's 59 mil.
Well, actually, it's 68 mil.
Oh,
well,
okay.
That's even more.
That's even more than I thought.
Right, so if you wanted to pick out the laces, for instance, don't squeeze the bottle too much and try to sort of draw. It's stopped working again. There we go. Try to draw with it really low down and pull the glossy accents along your image. It's always a good idea to do something like this when you've got all your card assembled.
Well, this is the final touch,
yes.
Isn't it?
Don't do this and then, I think I'll stick it all together now, because that will take about 20 minutes to dry properly.
Oh, I see.
And you can...
It makes a world of difference. Not that it needs it, but you know, it makes a big difference. Isn't it beautiful? Maybe around the base of the shoe, around the treads.
You could put it anywhere you like. It's also really nice stuff
to
use.
Droplets.
Water droplets, yes.
Good idea by our director, Holly. Houseman Holly.
So if you wanted to say this is a bit of a wet walk, you could put some blobs of glossy accents here and there, so it's like raindrops I mean, and they'll go completely clear. It goes on slightly cloudy, and you could always put little highlights on your boots, all sorts of things.
It's amazing. A little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And we'll just check the amount you get in your bottle is 59 mil. So it's a random number, 59 mil on the bottle you've got.
So you've got little droplets of water down there, and on your laces, you finish off your laces. I think it's a really nice finish.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
But again, you've got to remember it takes about 20 minutes or so to dry.
So it's like the last thing you do, let that dry.
Yeah, assemble all your card, then do your finishing touches, like things like that.
I think for scrapbooking, these stamps are going to come into their own as well.
That's a good idea.
Memories, maybe walks, family walks when all the family got together. Those days, those weekends, maybe. Well, shall I do a recap then, Jane?
Okay.
So I'm going to do it. That's absolutely beautiful. And we'll see some more demonstrations shortly. Is that right?
All right, yes.
Thanks, Jane. Don't forget, we've got lots of these items on the website, hochanda.com. Now, we've used these inks, die cuts with a view, the cardstock we've got there, 6x6. We've got the flip side and pastels, or the pastels and brights. So you get those two pads, £13.99. Now, these masks, I was told earlier you're shopping ahead for those. We've got the meadow, the sprats, and the polka dots, and that's £10.99. But if you like that glossy accent, you get a 59mm tub with the magnetic sheets. You've got various different charms and embellishments there too, just to finish off your cards for £16.99. Now, the colours we've got is called the Core from the Craftmaster alcohol markers, set of 12 there for £24.99. But the alcohol markers, if you love the blends that Jane managed to achieve with that stamped image, again, the alcohol pens, if you try blending with some pens and haven't got on too well, try the Craftmaster, because you've got the quality there, the quality ink, but it's that alcohol that really makes it easier. It's wonderful when you're actually blending with colours. It's extraordinary. When you touch the two colours together, it's a joy to watch. It really is. Well then, let's go back to these. Details on the side of your screen for the for the bundles. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the stamps we now got too. We've got all of these 8 stamps to choose from, so we've got 8 different sets there. So then, what hobbies are you into? Do you just want into golf? Son or daughter maybe into football? If it's onto your, it's your cowboy kind of thing we got there. If it's someone into line dancing parties, maybe you want to make a card for a family friend for their daughter or their son. It could be their first birthday. If you do, then we have got these little toddler shoes there. We've got stamps, the Little Miss Attitude, love this. We've got the Terrible Twos. We've got Boys Will Be Boys. So again, we're catering for girls, both sexes here, but again, a variety of age groups. How about your father-in-law? Does he love playing golf in the afternoon? We're personalising, we're showing that we know what interests they have. We're personalising the recipients with the hiking, outdoors in the countryside. And then equally so, how about big milestone birthdays? It could be your daughter's 21st, your daughter's 18th. It could be various different big events we're showcasing here. Now, I'll show you some more examples because we've got more cards here. I'll try and show you as many as possible. Now then, these are just cute, aren't they? Do you know what, toddler shoes, they're adorable, aren't they? When my nephew's almost 3 now, I was fascinated with the little shoes he had. They're so cute. So there we go, Little Miss Attitude. Then we've also got another one, Boys Will Be Boys. So that's one stamp set if you want to go for these. Now, we'll try and show you on the website because it tells you all the names we've got there for all of these stamps, and it just shows you how to add them into your basket. So there you go. Do you know someone who loves being outside, into horses? Who do you know who loves playing football? So you can really bespoke, you can tailor your own stamp sets, your own bundle of stamps, sorry, by adding these to your basket. So you got all 8 if you want to, or if you want to choose any 4, £19.98 you can do. The easiest way to add these, if you look on our website, hochanda.com, you'll see them all there. You simply click a pick, you add them to your basket, and then you get them checked out. But this is a selection of 4 that you might want to add to your basket, which just for an example, but you can really tailor them whichever ones you would like. Now then, we've got details on the side of your screen, brand new today, they're all the stamps, but we've also got these. Now, we used the linear leaves in the part of the last demonstration. It comes with a daisy burst, £9.99, 035 855, and again, brand new today. And Jane's excited about these, and I'm certainly listening. Well then, we're going to look at the masks next. The mask is something you've been shopping ahead for, well, before, towards the start of this show, you've been shopping ahead for these, but these have been popular throughout. Now then, you get all these 3 for £10.99. It's brought to you by that special touch of, and we've got the meadow, the spats, and the polka dots. Now, the meadow, you can see right there, beautiful card. But again, if you want to add texture paste through these, then, you know, why not? Why not indeed? If you've got the suitable embossing machines with embossing mats for your die cutting machine, use these to emboss cards. We've also got this. Now, this is the splat. Now, a lovely point made by Jane earlier. This could be for, well, various different ages, but we were talking about younger age group. We've got trainers on the show. Those trainer stamps with these, a little bit here, a little bit graffiti. A little bit gangster with an H at the end. But, you know, why not? You could do those kind of little fun themes. But we've also got the polka dots on the show too. Now, there we go. So we've got countryside. We've got a little bit mixed media kind of theme we're looking at there. Or that kind of mixed media effect, various different age groups. But we've also got something a little bit retro there with the polka dot. £10.99 for all these three. 141029. So there we go. Put them into your basket. Hochanda.com. Give a call centre ring. It's 01733 60 2000. Now, factor in your P&P. Unless you're a Freedom member, you don't pay any, because for £6.97 a month, you get all this. Unlimited standard delivery. You get exclusive member discounts as well. Always go on the website. It's good if you can do, because you'll see a photograph of all the products we got, and if you see a blue badge saying Freedom on it, it's got a member discount allocated to that product. Now, we've also got member badges to wear, lovely, and when we go to Ali Pali, various different outside broadcasts we do nowadays at Hochanda, the amount of people I see with the members badges really is lovely to see. You get a newsletter too, and cancel any time, try it for a month. If it's not for you, give a call centre ring, they just cancel it for you, but if you want to keep it going, just leave it be and just enjoy the no P&P. Well then, Jane, we've got lots on the show. It's hard to tie it all in.
It
is. But what's the next demonstration?
Well, I thought I'd show you how to do one of my lovely fridge cards.
A fridge card? Yeah, I'd like to see this.
It's only a little mini thing. You don't want anything too heavy.
We should be in the kitchen, so we could whack it on a fridge.
Yeah. Well, I've actually got something that will stick to it.
Oh, lovely.
So couldn't bring my fridge in today.
No, that's a bit over the top.
Yeah. So I'm going to use the football set. Which is going to be popular, and of course, I mean, I'm not a football player or a football watcher, right? But you can colour these boots in to match your whoever you're giving this to, course, their team, right?
Oh, I see.
I know nothing.
Colours. Yeah,
I know nothing about team colours. I mean, footballers wear pink boots, orange boots these days.
Red, yeah.
So I've pre-coloured a set of boots in pink and green, and I have stamped a football. And I'm going to stamp the greeting and emboss it, because we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to put some of the black VersaFine ink onto my greeting, which comes with the set. And I'm going to just stamp on a bit of paper. No, not because it just slides about too much on there, but I can't actually see it on this white piece of paper.
Oh, I see.
There we go. So I can't see where the white card is. So we'll stamp our greeting.
Beautiful, crisp.
Very, very
crisp
good.
Is that? And that's the Memento Tuxedo Black we just used.
Yeah, and then this is the clear powder. So
also, was that the VersaFine? Sorry.
That was the black VersaFine. Sorry,
yes.
Yeah, the black VersaFine.
No, I was thinking.
Right, and then we're going to heat that. Let's hope it doesn't blow away.
Okay.
Just hold it down. I'm on my craft mat, so it should be okay. So we'll just hold it down.
It makes it different as this, because it just makes it a little bit glossy. That's the idea. Like a gloss black.
I mean, when you're embossing, and you've put your embossing powder on, it's quite cloudy. But as you melt it, it goes nice and black and shiny, so that you know that you have melted everything, that when everything's gone really black. It just makes such a difference. And I like doing this all the time with my outlines and my stamps.
That's lovely.
There we go. It makes the football look brilliant. I mean, that's got such a glossy shading to it. Right, so those are my little elements there.
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Let's get rid of that for the paper. Now, what I'm going to do, this is my base of my fridge card. It's one of those. You could get it in any arch.
It's like
a foam-filled board.
Yes.
So it's really lightweight, because you don't want your fridge card to be too heavy.
Too heavy, of course, it's going to slide down.
Well, yeah, it depends on what you stick it onto.
Yeah.
So I've cut a piece of paper, and I'm going to cover this with a piece of paper. This is just a piece of copy paper. Anything you can use. You can use pattern paper if you want. But I wanted to make my own background, so I wanted to use a stencil. So I'm only going to really stencil the middle of it because you're not going to see that bit. That's going to be around the back. So I'm going to put my dots on, and I'm going to use the peeled paint Distress ink.
Okay. And we've got this on the show. I'm sure we have got the peeled paint.
Have.
But we've got the smaller ones.
Yes.
And it's a good way to stock up on getting more colours. I think it's important to start with, and then if you find you use one of the smaller colours more than the others, you can stock up on a bigger one for that, maybe at a later stage.
Well, it's a good idea to have the small ones because you get more colours for your money.
Yeah, cool.
And if you're starting out with Distress inks, then that's always a good way of doing it. I'm holding my stencil down as hard as I can, and I'm just stenciling in the middle, and I'm putting green on top of green. Hopefully I've covered enough. There we go. And the nice thing about these stencils is that you can just wipe them afterwards with a cloth, and you can use them over and over again, obviously. So there's my background. Because you're not going to see this, it doesn't really matter so much. So now I'm going to cover this with the paper. I'm going to stick it into the middle there.
Right.
And I'm going to cut, where are my scissors? There they are. I'm going to cut the corners off slightly. So I'm just going to so that I'm going to mitre the corners a little bit.
Oh, so just to fold it round?
What I normally do,
it.
yes, so it's like wrapping a present.
Yes.
What I normally do is add a little bit of glue sometimes, but I'm just living dangerously here.
This, of course, is the card. Die cuts with a view. Do you know what? I always get excited when I see that. DCWV. It's just beautiful, beautiful papers. The textures as well, aren't they, here? Yeah,
nice textures. You've got two tones on each sheet, so that you can fold corners back and things like that.
So we get 96 sheets in total. That's a lot, isn't it? So you think 96 sheets for £13.99. 300-244. That's wonderful value for money. 14p a sheet, that works out to be.
That's very good value.
14p for die cuts with a view. 14p. I say 14p a sheet. It's unbelievable.
Good size as well.
Yeah, 6
really
by 6.
Good size. Yes. If you cut one in half, you can flip one half over and have a two-tone background for your card because they go so beautifully together. So if you look at this lovely teal colour, which is one of my favourites, which you've got that on one side and that on the other, and if you cut that in half, you can then flip one half up and stick them down on one card, so you're nice and coordinated.
It's a nice substantial card as well. It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that nice?
Right, there's my base, nicely covered with my stenciled background, and I'm just going to finish it off because finishing off is always a really good idea. I'm going to put a little bit of
a fridge card.
Distress ink around the edges.
Love this. And if you have to tune in, we've got these stamps on the show, details bottom of the screen. You choose any four. I wonder if it's possible to show you the website, because you can see all of the websites. We'll try and show you that a little bit later on. It's £19.96, because we normally show you that. We haven't shown you that yet. It's 532009, so we'll show you later on. Oh, we can do it now. Fantastic. Here we go. Well, then, it's £19.99. There's the item number. But you can see here, now then, we've got wonderful, wonderful photographs here. But toddler shoes, we've got the golf shoes, but you can see the names there, right? But you can see this on the website. We've got the names there. So, should we show you the images here? Thanks for bearing with us, Jane. Here we are. There are the pictures. Where's our photographer? There we go. We have got the... we have got the hiking boots there, you've got the golf shoes, you've got the cowboy boots, various different options for you. So you choose any four of these stamp sets. Do you know someone who's in the outdoor side? Do you want it geared for a younger age group? Do you want it for somebody who loves the golf, loves the football? It's completely up to you, but for £19.98. Oh, by the way, the walking boots and the glamour shoes, well, they're right there, they're in the lead. Like the walking boots, just this one there. So those two are in the lead. There we go. But you choose any four, £19.96. Basically, not far for £5 per set, which is great value.
It is very good value.
So there we are, we're using the football one here.
Right, we're using the football one to make this fridge card. This is where the magnetic strip comes in, or magnetic
Could be a
piece.
hockey boot, of course. No,
well, I don't know. I suppose anybody who
sure.
plays football and hockey will think, oh, those aren't hockey boots.
You can do hockey boots. No, I'm sure. I played hockey back in the day. My last year at school, I actually found the sport I was good at as goalkeeper at hockey, but then it's too late.
Very brave. Very brave.
But,
right,
but I'm
now,
sure I use football boots.
I've got,
Anyway, it doesn't matter, does
got
it,
all
so?
my little elements done. So I've got my football boot, so I'm nicely coordinated. I've got a green and pink theme going on here.
So you don't play hockey then, Jane?
No, I don't play hockey, no. I played netball at school.
Oh, you do?
If I can remember that far back.
Right.
I was athletics and netball, me.
Right.
Right, I'm going to stick my boot on there. Yes. Long jump.
That was your thing, long jump?
I like the long jump, the high jump.
High jump. High jump was good fun, actually. Oh. Where's the high jump?
Now I'm going to stick all our little bits and pieces together.
I like shot put because I didn't have to run anywhere.
You have to run a lot in shot put.
No, I'm not knocking it. It's a good sport. It's a good thing. But running wasn't my thing. So that's been very fit. But cross country, I used to just work out which hedge to hide in and just.
That was, everybody did that. They went on a cross-country and they'd either take the shortcut or hide somewhere or go in a cafe. Yes.
We don't recommend that, though, do we, kids, if you're watching?
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Our magnetic piece.
Yeah.
Now, I've cut a bit up already. It's got a white backing bit on it, which is... well, you can't really write on it very easily because it's very, very shiny and slippy. But if you use a pen, a biro type thing, you can make a little indent in it, and it cuts beautifully with a pair of scissors. It's like cutting hard butter. It's actually quite a nice sensation.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm intrigued now.
I've cut quite a reasonable size, and you can get an awful lot of this size out of that piece. Because I like that big sheet, because you can cut any size you like. Rather than buying little bits of magnet, you can cut any size you like. So this piece is the sticky bit.
Right.
So once it's down, it's down. It's very, very sticky. So peel that off. Now I've got my little backing card already done. That goes on the back to make it nice and tidy. Stick it well down. And obviously, if you wanted to put your glossy accents on, you can do that now. But I wanted to show you what it's like when it gets stuck on a fridge. I'll take those off.
So we're going to wheel in the fridge.
So let's pretend this is my fridge.
Right,
this is my biscuit tin lid, all right?
That's a really good idea. Thanks, Jane.
So I've got my magnet.
Good idea.
And on it goes.
Look at that. That's a lovely idea. I don't know why I've done more of those, Jen. That's great.
So you've got a card that will say happy birthday to somebody, but also that they can keep.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And you can do one that actually opens if you want. So you can walk past the fridge and have a look.
Well, you could do anything. Especially if someone's on a diet, you could perhaps do something.
What are you trying to say, Jay? What are you trying to say? There is a reason why I'm not standing that way.
But I've got some other ones there. So you could do all sorts of things. Glossing over the diet bit.
I'm holding my breath now.
So it's just a fun, different way of doing something.
Seriously.
And you can see how well that magnet sticks.
Well, do you want the magnet? You could use that for making your own calendars if you want to.
You could do
little notepads.
And notepads, so that you could do a nice little gift for somebody. You could do a little card. You could do a little personalised notepad. Yes. Exactly.
Don't eat junk. You can write that on the fridge.
Yeah. Do not eat me.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Well, you know what? Shall I do a recap really quickly? Do you know what we got? That's just one option we could do with so many of these stamps. By the way, magnetic sheets that comes with the embellishment kit. £16.99. 859 370. So there we are. Now, do you know what? We've only got about 10 minutes left on the show, so we'll do a good recap for you. I'll do a quick recap, then we'll get back to Jane, hopefully in time for the demonstration. Yes, we can. She's nodding. Excellent. Right, so there we go. They're the embellishments that do come with the magnetic sheets. You do get a glossy accent. It's a 59ml bottle of the glossy accents. 59. Why 59? Don't know, but that's what it is. But it's a large bottle, I've got to say. But all of this, £16.99, brand new today. 859 370. So then, let's have a look at all these stamps. These are wonderful. Now, do you know what? When it comes to making cards, stamps, it's important to personalise. Not always, but if you do love personalising, I think if you can find a theme, if something someone is into, do you know someone who loves playing football, show that you know them very well by celebrating their hobby on the card you're going to give. It could be simply be country walks, could be for hiking, it could be someone who loves walking their dogs each morning, could be someone who just appreciates the scenery, lives in a lovely part of the world, someone who loves horses. You've got something here suitable, I think, for ladies, young ladies, maybe they're celebrating their 16th birthday or maybe their 18th birthday, maybe invitations for the 21st. Why not? Various different age groups, of course. Now then, the one right here, we're approaching a third of the stock gone. Wow. Now then, this one right here, the sneakers, where are the sneakers? What are the sneakers? Oh, there we are, there's sneakers. This is a quarter of the stock has gone. Joe, I couldn't find them. I'm looking from behind. Now, do you see them? On each stamp set, you've got like a main focal point. You've got the main star of the card. We've got finishing touches. Some of these you got, well, all of them looks like you have got some form of wording, some sentiments, but they look absolutely beautiful. I love that with the tread. We saw this one demonstrated earlier on. You've got little treads, little walking boots. They're gorgeous. Now, let's show you some more inspiration, what you can achieve. Speaking of the walking boots, actually, I love the detail, the laces. Even on the sole of the shoe, too. I'll tread carefully with this one, because, I need to get a grip, don't I? There we are. It's bad, isn't it? There we go. So this is just one item, what you can do. Now, I'm going to get on my high heels and show you this card here. We could go on and on, couldn't we? Now, do you know what? I love Jane's demonstration. I really did take my hat off to her. But you can see there. This is great, isn't it? There we go. £19.96 for any 4 of these stamp sets. This is what you can achieve there. They are beautiful with all of these. Now, I'm going to stop horsing around here. But if you know someone who does horsing... So they're getting bad, aren't they? They're bad jokes, aren't they? They are bawling, I've got to say, in the studio, backstage, they are bawling with laughter in the gallery. They really are. There we go, £19.96. Jane can't control herself, but you're saving £4. It's 532009. Thanks very much to Jane and Kim, I believe it was, to make lots of these examples. Well, there we are. Any set you would like, any 4, £90.96. If you like the cardstock, this is die cuts with a view. Look at these. 96 sheets. Wait for the price. Are you ready? £13.99. 96 sheets. I know. £13.99, 300422. By the way, the price per sheet, I've remembered well, is 14p a sheet. Die cuts with a view. That's wonderful value for money. Now, what else we got on the show? We got the mask set. Now then, we got the meadow, the polka dot, and we got the splat. Now, splat's important. You think, I can just do that with a paintbrush, just splat on the page. No, there's a splat, and then there's a mess. This is wonderful value for money, honestly, for a wide range of age groups. You've got something retro, something grungy, something countrified for £10.99. 141029. Now, we're talking about backgrounds with the masks, but also you can make beautiful backgrounds, as I'm sure lots of you already know, with these embossing folders. £9.99. Now, these are pretty, aren't they? Now, a lot of the stamps we got, these will complement, I'm sure they will, because the stamps are showcasing various different outdoor themes, but we've got the linear leaves, we've got the daisy burst, 2 folders, 5.75 by 7.5 inches for £9.99, 035855. Now, do you know what? The maths, and I scoped to see at GCSE maths, £5 a folder. I mean, sharp. We're sharp here, aren't we, Jane?
At this time of the morning, you are.
Yes, thank you very much. Now then, so Jade, what are we going to look at
right,
first?
Just a quick one. I'm just going to do those lovely glamour. I know.
Sorry, my fault. 4.5 minutes.
I can't believe how the time has gone.
It flies by. It's like a
just
time
to show people that you don't have to colour everything in. You can do a bit of paper piecing. So I've just stamped onto some pattern paper. This is actually a Creative Expressions. I think it's another die cuts with a view set. And it's called, and I can't remember what it's called now. Paris? Paris? I think it's on your website anyway.
We'll have a check. It looks like it. It's got a little bit of full detail there.
It's got nice little bit of gold detail in it. So I've cut it out and I'm going to stick it on top of my pre-stamped and pre-coloured shoes, because this is a nice option if people don't want to colour everything in. So we'll put a teeny bit of glue on here. See how quickly I can get this done. And It's an easy shape to cut out as well. Which,
yeah, a lot of them are.
Yeah. Well, I like cutting out a lot too. So if I make it easy for me to cut out, it's easy for everybody else to cut out.
Thanks. Yeah, of course.
So we're going to 3D that on top of there. And when you cut out stamped paper for three-dimensional layering, cut it out right on the outline. And sometimes you can ink the edges, because if you make a little mistake, and if you ink the edges, you actually don't see where that mistake is.
Right.
So that's quite nice, isn't it? So we can add one of our little self-adhesive pearls on the top of there, so they're nice and sticky. And one up there as a finishing touch.
But the dazzlers...
Dazzlers,
is it the dazzlers?
It's the dazzlers
that need gluing.
That need the glossy accents.
Or the glossy accents,
yes.
which you do get with the embellishments.
But those have got sticky backs to them, which is really useful. So
beautiful.
That just adds, again, another little bit of... It just...
adds value for me, for the card.
It just makes it look a bit more interesting, doesn't it? And you could also put some of the smaller ones on there as well if you wanted to. So you could add more on there, but sometimes, you know, have to stop somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now, this card, I've got a little bit of pattern paper, which is from the same pad I just mentioned.
Lovely.
But I want to stamp this background
here. On the
here.
website, hopefully, hochanda.com.
Because you've got all the stamps with the set, and you can make your own backgrounds with some of the words and things that are on here. So this is Happy Shoe Day. Right. So we are going to stamp...
birthday cards.
A background. Yeah, instead of Happy Birthday, Happy Shoe Day.
Happy Shoe Day, like it.
So you can move this stamp around in different directions to create a different look for your little corner. Let's have a look and see. You get, I don't want to get too many the same way around, and just make sure you cover everything. Let's put that one there.
Now, Tom will show we've got a minute and a half.
Oh no! So anyway,
thanks.
I'm going to cover that eventually, so it covers that area, so you can see what you can do just with the greetings.
It's quite a modern kind of look at it.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You can always do it in a colour. You don't have to do it in black. That's going to be going onto your base card.
Beautiful.
All right, and there are my shoes. That's going to be sitting over there. Put some foam pads behind it, perhaps.
I see.
Sticking to something on the background.
Well.
And you've got your sentiment, which comes with there as
and
well.
There we have it.
So you can...
I turn it round? Obviously, I can't lift it up, but...
yeah.
Otherwise, we get the idea. Can we see
that? But that's what's so nice about using all the little elements that come with the set.
Yes,
you can make your own backgrounds.
One set could be a complete card.
Absolutely.
Sentiment, main focal point, finishing touch, and you can pick 4 sets then. You know, at £19.96. That's a beautiful card. What time are you back, Jane?
I think I'm back at 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, yeah, 12 o'clock, 12 and 4. So
yes.
You've got a long day, haven't you?
I have got
Thanks,
a long
Jane.
day, yes.
Joe, we'll see you later on. Thanks very much, Jane. By the way, if you'd like to go for all of these stamps, look at these. So we've got 8 to choose on. You pick any 4 for £19.96. You save £4. 532009. Any questions, give our call centre rings 017 33 60 2000. Or the walking boots, over a third's gone. So that's one of the most popular stamps we've got. Thanks very much, Jane. We'll see you at 12 and 4. We'll see you live after the break. Ali's in the studio with the one-day special, brand new rulers with Hayley after this.
Hi, I'm Jo from the Beat Hut. We're a family-run business for about 14 years now, and we supply jewellery making components. My passion is chainmail, and we make all our own rings here in Essex for you to create some wonderful designs. We've got all levels of kits from beginners, intermediate and advanced, and we hope that we will share your journey with you and inspire you in a brand new craft. Come and join us, start something new at Hochanda.
I am Matthew Palmer, a professional artist with the SAA, the UK's largest and friendliest art community. The SAA exists to inform, encourage and inspire all who want to paint, and that's exactly what you'll learn to do with me as your teacher. As a self-taught artist of 30 years ago, I know the challenges of a white piece of paper and learning how to paint. But with me, Hochanda and the SAA, I'll show you how easy watercolour painting really is. I'm here on Hochanda because I want to show you my watercolour painting techniques, and I want to get you over that white paper fear and get you started and develop your watercolour painting. So whether you're a beginner or an advanced artist, I've got some fantastic watercolour techniques that will get you started and take you even further on your watercolour journey. So join me, Matthew Palmer, for my shows on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Jo from the Beat Hut. We're a family-run business for about 14 years now, and we supply jewellery making components. My passion is chainmail, and we make all our own rings here in Essex for you to create some wonderful designs. We've got all levels of kits, from beginners, intermediate and advanced, and we hope that we will share your journey with you and inspire you in a brand new craft. Come and join us, start something new at Hochanda.
Hello there, good morning and welcome back. I am so excited for this because Ali's here and you've bought a brand new stitchy ruler.
We have, yes. We've bought a couple of new ones actually.
Yeah.
We've got the one day special and another one as well.
We have indeed.
Spoiling you.
We certainly are. Now, if you were fortunate enough to tune in last night, you'll have seen Ali launch this at 6 o'clock, and then also you were here live at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
That's the show that I managed to tune in for, yourself and Yanis.
Yeah.
And I was intrigued by this because when you actually look at it, it just, I like to give them names.
I know.
And
I can guess what this one is.
Well, this one, I kind of, it reminds me of a little mouse almost with
I
the
thought
tail.
you were going to say elephant. That's the trunk.
Yes, yeah, could be, could be. But it just reminds me of a little mouse with its little curly tail. The thing that hits me with this is you've got so many different edges to it.
That's what I've tried to do,
6
Haley.
or 7, something like that?
I think it's about 6
Okay.
so far, but you usually find more.
I'll find at least another couple before the hour's
Yanis
out.
challenged me last night. It's challenge Haley now.
And this is brilliant because this is adding to the series that you started with us.
Yes, about 9 months ago, and there's going to be more and more coming. But these are my take on the rulers because I think traditionally people have brought out the traditional shapes.
Yes.
I'm just bringing out whatever goes into my head. Or
And it comes out the other end. Now these are brilliant because what you're working on is you're working on the repetitions and kind of top stitching. Traditionally, quilts have had that top stitch,
yes,
which we've had to send our quilts away for to get done, often on a long arm machine, free motion work, and it's one of those things that when you spent the time and trouble and the expense of making a quilt,
it's not cheap, is it?
Well, this is it, and handing it over to somebody else, it almost feels as if they're contaminating your quilt because you've made it from beginning to end, and you don't want to pass it on to anybody else.
You want to do the whole. This is my take on it. You want to do the whole quilt yourself to say, I've done that, and now you can. And it's not just that, it's the expense as well. It's expensive to have them sent away. It certainly is.
Now, the beauty of this is you can use it on any machine where you can drop your feed dogs, or you've got a darning plate.
Yes.
Some machines do have a darning plate.
Most machines, you can do it in some way.
Yeah, and it's a brilliant idea because it's allowing you to build up these lines that you then stitch on top.
Exactly, and it's precise. It's giving you a guiding hand, and it's just helping you along with your free motion. It's giving you the confidence, I like to think.
I think, and I mimicked it with armbands. As time goes on, you might actually do it without the templates because you'll build up the confidence to do it freehand.
Do you know what, though, Haley? I still don't think you're going to get anything as precise as that.
Well, this is it. It's pristine. It really is. Now, these are built up on several rotations using certain parts.
16, I think, on those two.
Okay, and this particular one, we've got the rounded petal almost there, so I'm guessing that's using the rounded edge side.
Exactly.
Okay, and then you're just rotating that and stitching it right the way round.
Yeah, I'm going to show that as we go to demo.
This one over here is using the opposite end, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Slightly more... Although it looks pointed on there, because of the nature of the foot, it gets into that crevice, so...
You're into the groove of these, aren't you? I can tell.
I think they're brilliant. I've got a set of these ones. Not this particular one, but I think it's set 2 that you came along with.
Yes.
And then down at the bottom, the clamshells. This is a very traditional style, isn't it?
It is, and yeah, and I like to think of the multi-rulers as giving you a taste of the different things that you can do. Obviously, then that's half a circle. If you wanted to get the circles, you're going to get the full circle, but you're getting 5 different sizes, so you can do all your different, you know. It is worth getting that one and the circles, because you can do all the different things in different sizes.
That's right. Now, I'm going to give a shout-out to anybody that's invested in any of Ali's rulers. If you had to go with yours, have you created a masterpiece, then do share them with us. You know how to get in touch, but just in case, it's studio@hochanda.com. Of course, we have our Facebook page as well, so you can, of course, contact us that way. And if you fancy coming having a chat, why not give us a call? 01733602000. Now, the one-day special, you can see the details on your screen there, but there are lots of different ways you can get hold of the stitching system, because, of course, you do need that unique foot to work with it.
Yeah, good point, Hayley.
Okay.
That is essential. Once you've got that, you can get any of the different rulers. And it comes in 2 different shank sizes at the moment, but there is a 3rd one in manufacturing. And the low one is basically measure from the base of your plate to the screw hole with your foot down.
Okay.
1/2 inch, it's low. 3/4, it's high. Yeah.
And if you do find that you have accidentally ordered the wrong one, just get in touch with Ali and she can sort that out. Now, we've got the details at the bottom of the screen of the one-day special, being that rule that we showed you at the beginning, that kind of whale, elephant, mouse shape, whatever you want to call it. Then the details that we brought up on the screen there are including your choice of the long or the the high or the low shank. So if you haven't actually got the foot yet, you will need this. Please don't think that if you've got a free motion foot, all right, you're okay. Then this one has been specially designed so it's not going to do any damage to your machine.
Yeah, it's the height of the foot. You can see there, it's about... well, just over 1/4 inch maybe. So that means that it will go against the ruler without the ruler slipping underneath.
And this is the key thing, because the last thing that you want is for your needle to actually slip across and go through that. It's going to damage the timing on your machine, it's going to damage your needle, but to be honest, the needle is the least of your worries.
It's
the timing that, and the damage to your machine. So please make sure that you have got that. There are other ways that you can get hold of this. You can get hold of it on its own and also as part of another bundle, which we'll tell you about in a moment. But if you want to go for the one-day special and your foot, then these are the details that you need on your screen. 086209. The beauty is you can get it on 2 flexi buys as well. So that means that you're all set to go for £32.49. It's a little more than a one-day special template on its own, but of course by getting it with the foot, you're good to go the moment it arrives. Lots of other templates for you to get, because this is a real fabulous range that's extended.
Yeah.
I love these.
I do, and this is why I brought these out in bigger size. So if you did get the last one-day special that I brought, it was smaller.
That's right.
So you just enhance in your set basically with the different sizes. These 2 nest together as well, so storage space is a lot better.
Yeah.
That's another point about the one-day special. Because it's all in, you've got like 5, 6 different sides, you can take it with you very easily if you go into a class. You don't have to take loads of different rulers.
Really good point as well. And because of the aperture in the middle, you can actually hang it up, can't you?
Exactly.
Like the pegboard and things like that.
Yeah, keep it safe, because you don't want to get your rulers broken. I have designed a case to put them in as well, which you make yourself, and then you decorate with your rulers.
You're doing it.
Win-win.
Yeah. We're getting busy. I'm just going to warn we have got 2-minute queues on the phone line, so we will get to you as soon as we possibly can. Now, this was the original one.
Yes, that's the smaller size.
The smaller curls, but then
everything you can do with that, you can do with the bigger ones. And I've been working on different things. I haven't had a lot of time to play because I've been away. We've had Christmas and New Year.
It's been a busy time of year.
I am still playing, and as you know, when we do a one-day special, we're learning as we go, and everybody's learning with us.
That's it. And this is probably one of those most traditional styles with regards to the top stitching on your quilt, in the free motion, those swirls, and of course the beauty of having them in the format that they are is you can move them to wherever you need them to be. So if you see a gap and you think, oh, I'd like to pop a curl there, but that one won't fit in, then of course you've got the beauty of having the second one there, so you can just use small parts of it. The whole piece of it is entirely up to you, but having the ability to do so is very, very important. And of course you've got lots of different templates, lots of different areas that you can use on them, but if you fancy going for the nested scrolls on their own, £21.99, 868861 is the item number. Now, going right the way back to the beginning where the story started. It's a very good place to start, as they said in a song.
It is. A very good song, by the way.
Very much so. And this is brilliant. This is kind of where the whole idea was conceived with this particular set.
And if you can stretch to this, it is a really good one to go for, because you're getting a lot of different shapes and sizes in this. The multi-ruler one is the one that I use the most because it's got that long straight edge. I have put a straight edge on this multi-ruler so that if you only wanted to take one, you still only take one.
Fabulous.
So you're getting your foot, start at the beginning, like we said.
This is it. Again, you need that foot. So again, you've got the choice of the low shank and the high shank. Low shank, 85% of machines go for
around about 85%.
Yeah.
So if you're in any doubt, order the low shank, and if it is a high, I will swap it for you straight away.
Just to give you a stock update, 40% of this bundle with the low shank has sold already. So if that's the one that you're wanting to go for, perhaps get your order in sooner rather than later.
It is a brilliant way to start though, Hayley, because you're getting the circles, which we have used a lot, and there is a quilt underneath if you want to go down to the cellar.
I saw Yanis going down to the cellar.
Him.
I can't do that. I'm too short to go down. I only have to take one step and I've gone. This is beautiful. I'm going to hold this up, and Ali, if you can talk about, have I got the wrong way around?
No, we've got it right, haven't we? I think.
Okay.
Yes, we've got the big ones at the bottom.
And this one's using the drunkard's path, isn't it, with the design?
Yes, if you like the drunkard's path, it's using it in a slightly different way, where we're putting 3 together with the circle and then turning one of them round, so it makes a little fish design. So if you wanted to do this, it's really easy to do, and then we've just quilted it with the circles. It took about 2 hours to do, and all I've done is just gone round the circles and in doing different sizes, large ones at the bottom, small ones at the top, and there's your quilt done.
I love it, and it's such a difficult shape to stitch free motion. By having the stability of that template, you can see there are lots of different nested circles on that template, so you know that you'll be able to cover whichever area it is you want to go in for. You can use them for applique, cutting, loads of different ways.
Yeah, you can cut around all the templates, so if you're wanting a circle, you've got them there, and you've got them in all the different sizes as well.
I'm sure we'll see that one in action. Lots of other areas in there as well, so very, very quickly showing you some of these, because it's not just about the circles. This one is lovely because this one is almost like a petal shape.
It is, and that's this one. So again, you've got the inside and the outside, and then you've got the outside of the arc as well. You've got the relevant markings on there, and if I can just show you, you see these little scorch marks?
Yes.
Don't worry about it. Basically, that is where they've been lasered, and you're peeling the back off.
So it's a little mark that's on the coating that you're going to peel away anyway.
It's protective coating, and you peel it off the back as well.
That's purely down to the heat of the cutting.
It is, yeah. It's just making sure that they're cut properly.
Lovely. And of course, with this one, there's lots of different ways. You've got a straight edge as well on that multi-rule. So you've got multi-rule one in here. You've got your foot, you've got your arc and your circle. It really is a brilliant bundle. And as Ali says, if you can manage to stretch to this one, perhaps it is the most versatile of all of the bundles. And at 2 payments of £50 each, I have to say it's probably one of the best ones to go for.
It is. Do you know something?
If you can go for this one.
Well, I didn't actually, because I was going to pay for my Banana foot, which is £79 on its own.
Yeah, I was going to say,
when you think £99, you're getting all that.
Yeah, I used to, as many of you know, I used to work with Husqvarna, Viking and Pfaff, and at the exhibitions I remember somebody coming up to me, I'm not going to name the brand of the machine, but they had to pay over £100 for a free motion foot, and that's without any templates or anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So and actually, mentioning free motion, you can use that foot for free motion.
Okay.
You can't use the free motion foot for ruler work, but you can use the ruler foot for the free motion.
There you go. So perhaps this is the way that you're going to get hold of yours. 620-886 if you're wanting to get hold of yours. Add it into your basket, and of course, if you want, add in the one-day special alongside it, because you will find that you'll start collecting all those tools, and the one-day special is down at the bottom of the screen. Now, there's lots more for you to check out. Some of the most popular ones are these ones here. Some really unusual shapes as well, and I have to say, when you look at these, you don't always know straight off what the different designs are going to do. So this particular one, you can see it's a deep wave, lots of different waves feature on there. I'm sure you'll be able to see that from there. £21.99 if you're wanting to go for that particular one. We've got another one as well. This, sorry, half the stock of that one has gone, so I've been very, very busy for that particular one. Scallop wave ruler, this is another one that's proved to be very, very popular as well, so perhaps you can be adding this one into your basket. This one reminds me of the Loch Ness Monster. 142845, £21.99. Just to let you know, though, a third of the stock of that one has gone, and I do love those little scallops that you've got on there. Lots of useful edges to that particular one if you wanted to go for that one. Now, if you fancy a bit of a bargain, then this might be the last opportunity that you have to get hold of this one, because I know it's one of those designs that's kind of being phased out now, and we've just got the stock of this left. £11 saving on this one. This one is called your Frozen Twin Pack, because you've got lots of elements here relating to the winter. You can see an arm of a snowflake there. You've got your holly bells in this one as well. You've got your bow feature in this one. You've got your holly and your berries as well, but 40% of the stock has gone. You can actually spread that cost over 2 payments, so maybe you're going to get hold of that set alongside the foot on its own, because it is available by itself as well, and you can check that out on the website. But of course, the beauty beauty is, what are you going to do with your one-day special when you get it? Well, Ali, if anybody's just tuned in, can you just give us a brief little insight into what we need to do and know?
Right, first of all, now I've got my benin here, so it is slightly different, but you would take off everything from the shank of your machine.
Okay.
So take the whole foot off, the ankle and everything, and then measure from the screw hole to the base. If it's 1/2 inch, it's a low. If it's 3/4 or above, it's a high.
So you're measuring it without any fabric under, going down to the stitch plate?
Take it all off and measure from the screw hole with your foot down to the base of your machine.
Okay, lovely.
Then when you've got that measurement and you've got your foot, you're just going to put it into the screw hole there, screw it up finger tight, because you can then move it up and down to the thickness of your fabric.
That's a good point, yes.
Because if you've got a thin wadding, then you obviously want it a little bit. You just want it to skim over the top.
Okay.
Once that's on, drop your feed dogs and you're ready to go.
Lovely.
Now, there is different ways of doing it, so yesterday, because I was just doing practice work, I didn't bother pulling the threads up.
Okay.
But if you want to pull the threads up, I will show you. You can see on here I've marked my rotations, and I've got a little dot in the centre, so I just want to put my needle down where that is.
And just quickly, the square ruler that you've used there, we've still got that, the marking up ruler. Is that available on the website?
No, I'm bringing a new one out.
Oh, okay, fair enough then. Keep our eyes peeled for that one.
Because they were getting broken.
Okay.
Right, so I'm lifting my foot up, and I'm just going to bring the needle back up, and that will bring my lower thread up. So once that's up, there we go. Then you can tie these off, so you've got no loose threads at all, and it's keeping the back nice and neat. But you don't have to do that when you're just practicing, it's not a problem. Put my foot down, and then I'm ready to go. So this time I'm going to do it with the point at the end here.
Okay.
So I'm putting that up against the ruler, and I'm pressing down, but I'm holding the fabric as well as the ruler. So I'm 1/2 on the ruler, 1/2 on the fabric.
Lovely.
And then we're just going to start stitching. Just running it against the edge of the foot until we get down to that point. Then I do a couple of stitches just to anchor that point and go back up the other side.
Okay, lovely.
If you find it easier, move your work. If you're all right doing it like this, just move the ruler.
And does it matter whether you go clockwise or anti-clockwise round?
Nope, entirely up to yourself. I do find it easy to work towards me, so I'm going to turn my work around, and I'm just going to position that back.
And you're doing opposite shapes this time, so
yes.
Is that a good way to build it up?
Yes, purely so that your fabric stays nice and flat. Now, yesterday I didn't stick it all down, but I have done this morning. I've been good. So I've used the Crafter's Companion Stick and Spray for fabric.
Lovely.
And then just carry on.
Now, the details on the screen we've got for you at the moment are the one-day special with the foot as a bundle. Of course, the tool that Ali's working with at the moment, you can find that on its own as well. We've also got the details at the bottom of the screen for that complete set where you have got the foot, you have got your arc, your circle, your multi-rule and the foot included. Both of the details on the screen, we have got 2 flexi-buy payments on there. So if you've not used the system before, you will need to have the foot. So my suggestion would be to have a look at either of those 2 bundles. If you can, the one at the bottom, because you've got so much versatility with that one, but if you can't, then going for the one-day special with your foot as a bundle is a good way of getting hold of it.
Right, so I didn't point out about moving the fabric. You're actually moving the fabric, and I've slowed my speed down to about halfway.
Okay.
Because that's going to determine the stitch length. So just find what's comfortable for yourself. Practice first on some scrap fabric. Change your speed rather than how fast you move your hands.
Okay.
Because you're going to move your hands at a natural speed for yourself, and that will determine your stitch length.
Good advice.
And don't worry about it, because it will just click all of a sudden. You'll find that you're getting a decent stitch length. Stop when you get back to that point with your needle down, if you've got that function on your machine. And I'm just lining it up with this straight line here.
Okay.
So there, the markings are on there, what you need. And I have put some hook tape on. While ever we've got it in stock, I will put it in with every ruler.
Okay.
We do actually run out quite frequently. I buy as much as I can from the warehouse, but it does run out. So if you haven't got any, apologies, but we do try and keep it in stock. So then you can see you're getting that nice little point, even though it looks like it's not a point on the ruler, it gives you a point because of the shape of it.
Okay. Notice you're using straight stitch as well, so always keep straight stitch?
Yes, because of the nature of the foot. If you use a decorative stitch, Leonie mentioned this yesterday, it could go farther than the width of the foot, and it would break with the foot.
So straight stitch with the needle in the middle of the swing, so usually it tends to be the 0 setting, doesn't it, which is in the middle.
I've got a brother machine, which my brother defaults to the left. So on mine, I have to move it to the next one. Okay. But most machines, you can move the needle.
Okay.
So stop at the central point and rotate. And you can see it's pretty quick.
Starts building up very, very quickly.
And it's so accurate. So you could stop at 4, you could stop at 8. I think we've got 16 on this one, but you could actually go up to 32.
Love it. And of course you can see Ali's template is clear. I've got one here. This is how it's actually going to come to you. So when you receive yours and you look at this, you might think, well, that's not what Ali's look like. You have actually got a protective coating on here, and this is to help protect it in transit. You can leave that on there if you want to, Ali, can't you? You don't have to take it off.
You don't have to, but I would, because you're going to be sticking your hook tape to it, and it would stick to that. So if it peels off, you're going to be peeling your tape off.
And also you've got those indication markers on there that Ali was using to line it up. So if you have got that covering on there, you can't really see through and see those, but it is really easy. It becomes quite therapeutic. You kind of extract it, get a little pin under there, perhaps, and then you literally are peeling that coating away, and then they'll end up being clear. You will find that on all the templates that Ali brings to us, and it is a way of protecting. As she said earlier on, you might get some little scorch marks on there from where they've actually been cut in the manufacture, but it's nothing to be concerned about.
It won't be on the ruler.
Coating, not on the perspex itself.
Yeah, it won't be on the ruler. It will only be on the coating. So you can see now, just going on to the ones in between.
Lovely.
But this could be the central part of your quilt. Yeah. So then you can build up like I have been doing on the silky one. Just build up with the different rulers around it. I've just got a couple more to do. And later on, one of the other hours, I will show it the other way. So we'll do the opposite end.
If you wanted to use these templates, say when you've got like your batting around your main blocks, and it's kind of the connectors between the two, the long strips, the sashing, sorry, not the batting, the batting's your wadding, sorry. Yeah, your sashing. Could you actually do these designs kind of nose to tail as a
certainly could, yes, you could, definitely. Once you start playing with them, as obviously you're sat there watching, your mind's thinking as well.
Yeah. And so there's people at home shouting out the TV ideas.
We did get some pictures in yesterday on the on Yanis's hour. And there's some really good people out there.
I was going to say, it never ceases to amaze me, the talent of viewers that we've got out there. So, yeah, if you have got anything that you'd like to share with us, then by all means, please do so. Let us know about your experience. Perhaps you had to go at free motion before. Perhaps you didn't crack it and you just needed Ali's help with these rulers, and now is the time for you to share those pearls of wisdom. studio@hochanda.com, that's how you get in touch. Very, very easy. And as I say, if you do fancy having a chat, Ali's going to be here all day, so by all means get in touch. 01733 60 2000. She'll be back at 1 o'clock, and then your final call, last opportunity to take advantage of that saving, will be 5 o'clock this evening. Now I'm back with you at that point, aren't I?
Yay!
Let's go.
Right, Hayley. So
look at that.
I like the brown and blue.
Oh, that's nice.
That was so easy, so quick, and that could be the central part. Or if you've done like maybe 9-inch blocks, you could do one of those in each block.
Yes.
And your quilt's done, and you've done it yourself. You've got the satisfaction of doing that yourself.
That is brilliant. Isn't that incredible? And what a professional result. You can do that.
You can do
that in the comfort of your home. Even if you've got a machine that, I mean, obviously Ali's got a machine that she's invested a lot of time and money into. You don't have to do that. You can literally be using a machine as long as it's got a straight stitch, as long as you can drop the feed dogs or have a darning plate, which, let's face it, it's pretty much every machine out there. You can create pieces like that.
Well, I usually bring the Feefo one, which is just a mechanical machine. Right, it's not got any bows and whistles and anything on it. The only reason I didn't, I'm waiting for a new platform.
Yeah, that's
and they've sent it to the wrong address.
Oh dear.
I've had it made and I've sent it to the wrong address, so I'm still waiting for that. So I've had to bring this one. But I've got various different machines, from little small compact ones to a couple of big ones, and they all work fine.
There you go. So it's easy as that. Now, if you want to get hold of yours, perhaps jump onto the website. On the website, you'll find all the different templates that Ali has brought. So if you want to go for things like your hexagons, your octagons, you'll find those on there. If you want to go for the foot on its own, you'll be able to see that there too as well. Lots of different opportunities, lots of different ways for you to get hold of all those different different templates and rulers, and I have to say it is a brilliant idea. It's kind of taken the sewing world by storm. Now, if you want to take advantage of the saving, this is the frozen set. You can see there you've got your bell, you've got your holly, you've got your bow there, and of course you have got that fabulous snowflake there. 2 flexi buys on this particular one, so if you do fancy getting hold of this one and you're on a budget, then do make sure you take advantage of that flexi buy. Don't forget you will need that foot though, so add that in, and look at that 5-star reviews with these. If you want to check out those reviews before you place your order, by all means please do so. It's brilliant foot, brilliant concept, and it really has revolutionised the way that many of us have been working with our sewing and gaining our confidence. That's the key thing. Lots of times we use tools, don't we, with regards to either cutting our fabric or paper crafting. We're using dies to get those professional results, and it's no different with regards to our sewing. Now, of course, the one-day special was launched at 6 o'clock last night. It's the latest addition to those different templates that Ali's bought us, trying to cover us for all sorts of eventualities, traditional patterns, new patterns that she's literally dreamt up and she's transferred over into a rule. And don't forget, Ali's history of sewing, it goes right the way back to it predates her stamping days. So if you know Ali as a stamper and her inky fingers, they've kind of changed a little. Still inking, but still stitching as well now. This is brilliant. You've got lots of different tools within this one tool, and as Ali said, the portability and the versatility makes it brilliant. So we'll start off at the top. You can't miss this curl, can you hear? This one is brilliant. If you're wanting to do your free motion curls, you can obviously take your foot through the inside, you can take it around the outside as well, and don't forget you've got lots of curves as you're working your way around it. Now, as we come down the one side here, you'll see that we go quite angular. This is brilliant because as you look there, you've got a half hexagon. You've also got those little markers on there, so you've got your straight lines there for lining these up. If you wanted to, you could actually use that to cut out your half hexagons as well, and obviously flip it over and then you can do your full hexagons if you wanted to. Can't miss the aperture in the middle here. It almost looks like a little bow, doesn't it? But you've got your different areas. So not only have you got the area on this side, which we saw with that design, you've also got more rounded area here. But of course you can use these smaller curves as well. It's entirely up to you which areas you want to use. And then if I flip it over, you've got your straight edge as well. Straight edges are always incredibly useful as well. You could be joining up those curves. You can be using them in lots of different ways, simply just giving you that straight edge for you to get that finished result. So you're probably going to look at about 6 different design ways you can use this at least. Breaking down here, you could literally be making 4 or 5 out of that one aperture in its own right. Now, Ali's been working with that centre aperture on this blue piece of fabric, and by doing those rotations, you remember spirograph where you used to get your pens in and you create those patterns? Very similar idea. And in that idea, you could literally start off from 1 or 2, maybe going on opposites, and then build up those rotations. And you can build them up to probably about 32 rotations if you want something very, very full. You don't have to. You could go for opposites, you could go for quarters. You could just literally almost go for a shell-like formation, just using a quarter of that, perhaps in the corner of a quilt, or you can create a gorgeous panel that will sit into the centre of your quilt. Maybe if you're doing like a 9-block quilt, something like that, that would be perfect. Equally so, if you wanted to almost do like the echo lines, the echo quilting around that, then you could use that curve to mimic that if you wanted to. The other way of using that one, because that's a very rounded edge, you've got this edge that's got more of a pointed petal shape to it, and again just rotating it round, stitching it the other way, doing exactly the same, your 32, 16 rotations, however many you want to, you can get that kind of result. And then down at the bottom, the traditional clamshell. Again, a brilliantly traditional style, using that larger arc that you've got on the edge there. But don't forget, you've got smaller arcs as well. So if you wanted to just use this, and of course you can put your own markings on here with a permanent marker if you wanted to, just to use little areas. But I do like that clamshell. That's fabulous when you applique that, and there's nothing to stop you appliquing it with your rule as well. Really is a multi-tool. Multi-rule number 2, as you can see there. We have got multi-rule 1, which we'll explain to you in a few moments, but if you're wanting to get hold of this one, £29.99, it's your one-day special. That deal is good at that price up until 6 o'clock this evening. Now, it is the rule on its own. Please do make sure that you have got your foot to work alongside it, and we have got a bundle where you can get hold of the foot as well. And we're just going to bring those details up. Beauty of this one is you get your one-day special multi-rule too, but you're also going to get the foot as well. So the moment this arrives, you can get cracking. If you've already got the foot, or if you've got a clear version that Ali bought to us in the beginning, you don't need to reinvest to get another foot. You'll be okay with that one, but you will need this regardless of the machine that you've got. And as Ali says, low shank or high shank, 85% of machines will take the low shank, and you simply drop the foot on your machine, measure from the screw hole where you take the ankle off down to the stitch plate, and that is where you've got to kind of made that decision. I think if it's half an inch or, no, 1 inch or less, I'll double check with Ali because I've forgotten. I'm not going to lie. But we'll reiterate those details. If you do find you've got the wrong one, though, don't worry, Ali will replace that. So, details on your screen will get you the one-day special, will get you the foot, and it also gives you the ability to get hold of everything on 2 flexi buys of £32.49. Lots more you can go for, but if you fancy going for that bundle, 086209 being your item number. The nested scrolls, you have been loving these. I love the kind of the free form with this one, where you can literally pop those little scrolls in wherever you want to. Using part of them, using the whole piece, it's entirely up to you. Now, you may have come across the smaller one because we did have them as a part of a one-day special, but we've now got the larger one as well. Use them independently, use them together if you're wanting to, but of course, using them as a guide to give you those wonderful fluid scrolls. You can see here, this particular one, it's almost like it's evolving. It's almost like the beanstalk in Jack and the Beanstalk. You could add to that, make it run right the way through a project. Not just a quilt, you could use it to decorate curtains, home furnishings, cushions, duvets, you name it, you could actually be using that to decorate. And you can see large open swirls working alongside those smaller ones because they do work together beautifully. Then, of course, you can kind of have the structure with your design. So if you're wanting to make more structure with regard to things like your hearts, then you can stitch one heart, flip that rule over and do the other side, and then obviously you can see them running down there. Again, this one's a lovely idea in the middle here, almost like a stalk growing, where you could have a flower, a pliqued flower head in there. And again, if you wanted to use it for your sashing in your quilting, then definitely you could use it running right the way through. £21.99 will get you both of those on their way to you. 868-861 being your item number, and it has proved to be incredibly popular, as has the next bundle. Now, the next bundle is kind of the original set that Ali bought to us way back in the beginning. It's brilliant. You've got 3 different rules in here, but lots of different edges, so lots of different ways you can work with these. Instantly, you can see your nested circles, lots of different shapes and sizes. Not lots of different shapes, they're all circles. Lots of different sizes, should I say, within there. So you are going to be able to get your concentric shapes with those if you're wanting to. Multi-rule number 1, where kind of the original multi-rule, where you've got lots of different sections in here. So you've got your straight edge running down the side here. Again, if you want to do those smaller clamshells, you have got that half circle featuring on here, as you can see. And then you've got things like your waves and your curves in here, and also if you're wanting to do your chevron designs, you've got that feature in there. Ali does tend to say that she uses this one over and over again, especially those curves and those straight edges, because it allows you to give that uniformity to your blocks as well, so that's definitely worth considering. Petal shape, I have to say I do like the petal shape because I think it gives you a lot of versatility with regards to building up those designs, and I love that spirograph style of effect that you can get simply by rotating. On here, you can see a cream fabric, practice piece where you have got those rotations. And look at the size that you could be creating with this if you're wanting to. Really would make it very quickly a quick and easy way of building up your blocks. And you don't have to use the whole of that shape. You can just use certain areas just to put little accents in there if you're wanting to as well. Having the straight edge on it allows you to do this kind of infill. Now, this looks incredibly complicated, but it's so clever when Ali shows us. You're literally, if you're taking each of these sections, you can see you're literally stitching a straight edge, then you're moving the rule along a little bit, another straight edge, and basically they build up in that formation. Very clever. Now, if you want to get hold of this set, it does include the foot again, so make your decision over your low or your high shank with that one. And again, you have got your flexi buy on this one, 2 payments of £50, and it is still proving to be very popular, always has done. Now, 620886 is your item number if you're wanting to get hold of that one. Lots more to share with you. If you're liking the idea of those nested circles, then here you go, you can get them on their own. Again, there's no foot included with these, so you do need to make sure that you are going to be adding your foot in if you don't already have it, but quilts, of course, you can do that if you want it. It's just £1 extra with your post and packing. Fancy going for your hexagons? Then here we go. We've got those. We can help you with that too as well. Again, lots of different ways you can use these. Nested shapes again, so they're all going to fit in together. And we've got choices with this one, so you can either go for your hexagons or your diamonds, or if you want to, you can go for both. £29.99 for each of those sets that you choose to go for. 8 and 5, 6, 6, 5 for if you're wanting to go for them. It's really good to have your company this morning as well, so if you want to join in with us, we're having a bit of a sewy chatty session.
We're having a lovely session, aren't we?
I love working with Ali. Then yeah, get in touch. We'd love to hear from you as well. What are you up to next?
Right, what I've done, Hayley, is I've used this print pencil, and I believe that Sixpenny Memories have these on your website.
Oh yes,
the short ones.
Yes.
And I've just drawn an 8-inch square, and I've done 4-inch sections in between.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the multi-ruler.
Okay.
And we're going to do a design which is very easy to do, and it's one that you can actually go all over your quilt, and it gives you the illusion of circles.
Oh,
squash circles, sort of.
Okay.
Right, so bear in mind where you start is where you're going to finish. So
Right.
if I start in the centre, I can do all the 4 without breaking the thread.
Okay.
So that's a good point. So I'm going to start at this point here. I'm going to drop my needle right into the centre of that square.
Lovely.
And I'm going to put the ruler on. Actually, I think I needed to do it 4.5 inch, but we'll see how it works out.
Okay.
Do a couple of locking stitches, and then I'm just going to stitch all the way around that semicircle. Yeah, it might have needed to be 4.5.
The stitch line that you've got, is that naturally 1/4 of an inch? Is it away from the...
Yes, it will always be 1/4 of an inch. If the needle is in the centre of your foot, it will always be 1/4 of an inch away. So it just helps with your measurements. So you can see I should have done it 4.5 inches.
Not to worry.
It'll still work, no problem.
And again, this is... I used to love... When I had my maths lessons, the bit that I used to love was playing around with the compass and doing circles.
Yes, I didn't love the maths part of it, Hayley.
Yeah, I was rubbish at the actual adding up and all that side of it, but the making patterns I could do brilliantly.
Compasses these days,
do you? Yeah.
They're still a really useful tool. So all I'm doing is going around.
Oh, that's nice.
Stopping on that line that we've drawn. And the chalk one is really useful for if you're not sure about the fabric, whether it will leave a stain when you do the heat, with the heat erasable ones. So back to the central point, so I can now start my next one without having to break the threads.
Nice idea.
So again, I will come back to that central point.
So the little notches that you've got on the multi-rule number 1, that's where your start and stop point is.
Exactly. And the line below will be 1/4 of an inch underneath.
Any tips for when we're moving direction and we're rotating the fabric?
Well, you don't actually need to rotate the fabric if you don't want.
Okay.
But I find it, because the camera's here, I know that it can see what I'm doing, so I do rotate it, because you could actually do the whole thing without rotating. I can go around. But if you've got a smaller gap on your machine here, then your ruler may not fit in there. So you can actually do it from here. So I don't have to move that. I can just put that on there, and I can do the same thing.
And I notice you've got the needle down as well, so when you're stopping sewing, the needle is going into the fabric.
Yeah, and then stop there. So I don't have to move the fabric if I don't want to. I can put that on there now and do it. I just find that it's easier for people at home to see what we're doing. So back round again, and we're back to the centre. So this is why this multi-ruler one is so useful. Now you can see here, we're getting that inner design
an oval shape coming
that appears. And the more you do, you could do that all over your quilt. And if you've got the circles, you could do a really big one by just using half of the circle. So that's what I'm saying. The multi-rulers are a nice taster, but you then may want to get the larger designs so that you can do the bigger patterns.
Makes sense.
I don't want to send mine away to have it quilted. And to tell you the truth, Hayley, what you spend on having one quilt quilted, you will still be saving money by investing in this
instantly.
system.
If you go for the largest bundle at £99.99, don't forget you can spread that cost as well. But as you say, you are handing over your precious quilt that you've taken time and trouble to make. And not only is it a case that you're passing it over to somebody that I'm sure will do a wonderful job on it,
definitely,
but it is still a case that you are kind of parting with it. It's almost a prized possession, isn't it, when you've made your quilt?
And I've spoke to so many people who've said that they've got piles of quilts because they enjoy that process, but they daren't quilt them. So they're just stuck in cupboards at home.
Now, we'll mention to you as well, perhaps post-Christmas, post-New Year, the affordability is an issue for yourself, and you're just thinking to yourself, I do want to go for this system. Not only, obviously, have we got the larger system with all the rules in there that Ali's been working with, but we have also got our one-day special. So if you want to go for the one-day special and you want to spread the cost, you can get hold of it with the details at the bottom of the screen. So you are going to get your tool, which is your one-day special, but you will all, and the saving are obviously allocated to that, but you will also get the foot as well, and the ability to spread the cost over 2 payments. And just very quickly, just a recap, this is exactly what you're getting for your one-day special. You're going to get that template you can see there, but if you go for the bundle, you will get the foot as well, as you can see on the screen there too. £64.98. That is going to have your one-day special template and that foot, and you have the ability to spread the cost over 2 payments. You can spread the cost, the payments, over the second bundle, which is at the bottom of the screen as well, but if you're wanting to go for the 2 payments of £32.49, 086209 is the number that you need.
Right, I'm just going to use the curved part now, just to finish off around the edge.
Okay, so same tool.
I could actually carry this on and do a lot more, make it larger, but I'm just going to use the curved edge of this one. And you can just keep on building your designs back to that corner. Turn, so now you can see you're getting the...
That's nice. It's almost framing the design now.
Exactly, yeah, it is. So I'm just putting it so that it's about 1/4 inch away from the other side.
Any tips with regards to our fabrics? Because you mentioned about doing practice pieces. What sort of fabric do we need to practice on?
You can practice on anything.
Okay.
Personally, I would probably go to a charity shop or the Scandinavian shop that you tell us
the
about.
Home Decor place, yeah.
And get some of the throws or the big sheets or anything like that.
Okay.
Or you can actually get it off the meter from there.
Yeah.
And just get one of the throws and back it with that.
Okay. So you don't have to use your best quality wadding for this?
No, definitely not. You just want to have anything that's suitable for practice on. It doesn't have to even be wadding, it can be fleece. You can actually back it with anything.
Is it a good idea to build up maybe a library of the different patterns that you've got as well to refresh your memory?
I actually would, yeah. I would probably build up like a fabric book.
Yes.
Like a swatch book, a journal, so to speak.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And put these in, because then you can recap and have a look and think, well, that looks nice with that, or I could add that to that. Once you get more rulers, you're just going to be well on your way. So now you can see we've actually framed that, and you can just keep going from that. I'll break this one off, and then we'll have a go with one of the other rulers.
And I'm guessing there's so many different threads available now there as well. Things like your variegated threads, you can get some wonderful results.
Yeah. Actually, what I could have done is I could have gone back with the multi-ruler and done that line to finish off the inside. Put it the right way. So you can put the hook on both parts of the underside and the top side, so that you're actually using both sides to flip it. But this is, you just move it down, so if it's not long enough, it's not a problem.
And on some of the designs, you've almost got like a Zen doodling effect that you've done within the sections.
Yeah, I do like that. And if I wanted to, then I could actually do some free motion in the little curves on there. You can see when you get onto the straight parts, it's pretty quick. You can just get going with it.
It's almost like you're colouring in with a needle, isn't it? Rather than your pencils, and you're creating those doodly patterns that if you wanted to go back and infill, then you can do.
It's creative stitching. That's how I like to think of it.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Back to where we started.
Look at that. And you can imagine that on that scale, perhaps repeated that another 3 times, and then you've got a panel there that would be a large cushion.
Yeah, definitely. And and then the stitching becomes the design.
Yeah.
So you've only used plain fabric, but you've actually finished it off yourself.
I do like that design. Is that brilliant? I do like that light blue as well against the chocolate brown. That works well. And again, you've got the different ways that it could look. And as you said, Ali, you can build on that to make it into an all-over design.
You could.
And again, you could rotate and make those curves so you've got almost like a larger rosette within there. Honestly, when you start playing with this, you can say goodbye to your household chores and your ironing because you'll be playing with this all the time.
But that could be a bag front.
Yeah,
you know, just use your plain fabric, and that could be the design on your bag.
Really good point. Thank you, Ali. Right, and let Ali get herself ready for another demonstration. Now, if you want to go through that ruler system using the multi-rule one, this is the way that you get hold of it. 620-886 is the item number if you're wanting to get hold of this one. It's going to have that multi-rule number 1 in there, the one that looks a bit like a fish, as I describe it. You've also got your petal shapes in there. You've got your concentric circles there as well. Lots you're going to be able to do with this, and as Ali's just said, just doodle, have a go with your fabrics. Use your scrap fabrics, maybe use some of those lining fabrics that perhaps they're in colours that you're not necessarily going to use. Then it's just an easy way for you to actually work with those. So yeah, do make sure that you add those into your basket. 620-886 being your item number if you want to get hold of that one. And obviously you have got your choice of your foot with that one too as well, and your flexi bind. Do you fancy getting hold of the Loch Ness Monster? Here we go. This is this particular one. It's your scallop wave ruler, £21.99, but a third of the stock has gone. Again, you can see so